Big welcome, everyone, to our Breathworks challenge by SOMA Breath. Great to see an amazing crew of people that are coming here, dedicating the time to be a part of this amazing session that we're putting together for the entire week. And first thing I want to do is kind of get an idea of where everybody is tuning in from the world. So type in your city, your country into the Zoom chat, and let's see if my fancy little tool here will give us a chance to see where all of you are tuning in from. So go ahead and type that in, and you should see yourself appear on the map. And here we go. We have quite the worldwide audience. Going to give a heads up to all those in the North and South America joining us for a morning session. For those of you in Europe, taking a moment in the middle of the day, as well as Africa, Middle East, and those in Asia are coming in towards the evening, including India, which is more later into the day. For those who are watching onto the replay, we hope you're tuning in from the times that might not have been as accessible for you to join us live. But nonetheless, by watching this replay, you're going to learn a ton. You're going to experience some fun. And this is going to be a great, great moment for us to all come together and take a breather, regulating the nervous system. A relevant time for us to come together, isn't it? We're going to have some great session that's going to come from Niraj, and I want to welcome him to kick off this amazing Breathworks challenge. By the way, I'm going to have some fun with you and just check in really quickly. Look at that. We zoom in, get to see all of you tuning in from various spaces. I just want to see who is here. Just type in 1, 2, or 3. I want to know who are the people that are here. SOMA Breath, this is your first event. Just type in 1. If you're a regular SOMI and you're coming to these sessions, price 2. And if you're an instructor, we know our instructors love to be cheerleaders and participate in every event that we've put together. And so we just want to have an idea. Wow, a ton of you are completely new to SOMA Breath. Well, you're in for quite the introduction because you're getting the one and only, the founder, creator behind SOMA Breath methodology. Niraj Naik is going to be leading the session today. My name is Jason Mark Campbell. I'll simply be your host, your MC, and giving a little shout out to Monica behind the scene, who's our technical director. We have an entire team to make sure that you are all going to have an incredible experience today. And we should be expecting quite a lot. We're going to have some learnings. We're going to have an experience. So if you are tuning in from home, make sure you are comfortable. You might find yourself dancing and moving. You'll definitely be breathing. You definitely should not be operating any kind of machinery, and be present for the moment. And with that being said, I think we are ready to bring the man of the hour, Mr. Niraj Naik. Now, Niraj has brought this methodology, SOMA Breath. We've trained over 4,000 instructors. Millions of people have come to either our Breathe Together Sunday, have downloaded the SOMA Breath app, have been using the methodology to regulate their nervous system, heal trauma, and just get the energy they're looking for, and realize that within ourselves, with our breath, we don't need any external resource to get into the state that we desire. And you're going to get a taste of that today with the one and only Niraj Naik joining. Niraj, the floor is yours, and let's give him a big, warm welcome for everyone who is here.
Hello. All right, we're here, live and direct. So, thank you, Jason, so much for the little intro. As you can imagine, I'm a little bit shell-shocked. Can you hear me okay, everyone? Someone's saying sound gone. Just want to make sure you can hear me okay, everyone. Just
sound is perfect, Niraj.
Sound is perfect. Brilliant. Fantastic. And I'm here from our apartment here in Dubai. And I'm here with the lovely Lisa.
Hi, guys.
And we have just been through something pretty spectacular. Once in a lifetime moment. So just a little bit of a story. If you haven't been watching the news, just to give you a little bit of an update, for those of you who don't watch TV, haven't read a headline on X or social media, but there is a war going on, right? And we're right in the middle of a war zone where just a few days ago on the 28th, It was the 28th, right?
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, Saturday. I was chilling on the beach with a friend of mine. We were having an amazing family um, little breakfast brunch, and this guy actually he sets up businesses, companies here in Dubai, and we were about to move Soma Breath here. We're going to create a Soma Breath in Dubai, and we were talking about it, and I said, but just imagine though, like if there was a war here, right? Like, what do you think would happen, like, in the future? Like, because, there was something brewing, but hadn't really popped yet. And he was like, nah, don't worry, this is safe. Nothing like that's gonna happen. 10 minutes later, Trump declares war on Iran, right? And we're on the beach, and a few hours later, there is a shell of a missile that had been intercepted, boom, exploded above our heads. And we were like, oh my God. I'm there with my daughter, who's 3, my wife, my mum, who can hardly walk because she broke her foot 2 weeks ago. And so we all had to basically exit this beach as quick as possible. We had no idea what was going to go down. We had no idea that the UAE had such an amazing defense system as well. So we did a runner to our apartments, and we got back, and I have to say I've been on father mode since that night was probably the hardest night of my life today. And I'm somebody who's had an autoimmune disease that nearly killed me, and I faced death at that moment, right? When I was almost dying of a disease where the medication stopped working. I was going to have my colon removed completely, right? So I've been through that, and I have to say this topped it. I'll tell you why it topped it. And those of you who have kids and have responsibilities, back then I had no responsibilities really, apart from myself, really, will know what I'm talking about, right? I was on father survival mode, switched on to the max. Couldn't sleep the whole night. All I was thinking of was, as soon as they give us an alert, if we have to evacuate, I have to get everyone out of here, including a crippled mum, right? And a screaming baby who is hard enough to get ready and get out of the house as it is. So all that was just playing out in my mind, right? And all I could hear was this boom, boom, like going on, and the wall shaking. And that's been like the last 2 days. Like now today has really calmed down, right, compared to the day before. And me and Lisa's one of our amazing Soma Breath instructors based here in Dubai,
Hi, guys.
had been just spending the last month or so together having the most epic flow. We've just been in a flow state. We've just been up to the coolest stuff here in Dubai. Dubai is like one of the most amazing places to live. Like I say it's super safe, but it was extremely safe.
I still feel safe.
I still feel safe, actually. Yeah, I still feel pretty safe. But it was also a very, very high vibe place. You wouldn't think it, maybe from the outside if you don't know much about this place. But there's so much opportunity here, so many amazing entrepreneurs, super high vibe community, and everyone loves breathwork. Breathwork's so popular. People are so into it. So we've been on this amazing flow here, and we were just planning like doing some amazing events before I head back to the UK. I mean, back to Ibiza. So then all this suddenly happens, right? So you can imagine what that's done to our nervous system. So do you want to just share a little bit, Lisa, about what you've been doing to
Yeah.
deal with this?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, some of you may follow my Instagram already, and I shared my top tip on there today of what I like to do. But a couple of times throughout the day when I just feel the panic like surfacing, or the worry or the overwhelm creeping in, I just like to center myself by taking a moment to just pause and focus on my breath. So I'll teach one really simple technique that you can do anytime in the day. You don't need any music or anything. You can put on a relaxing track if you like, but this one really activates your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic nervous system straight away. So I highly recommend doing this for around 5-10 minutes a couple of times a day if ever you're feeling that stress creep in any moment in life. I actually often use this before eating a meal to regulate my nervous system and bring my body into balance, but I've really been using it over the last few days just to bring calm and center. So if we just practice all together, what we're going to do is we're just going to sit nicely and upright, and we're going to take a little inhale through our nose, and then we're going to blow out through our mouth as if we're blowing out through a straw with pursed lips for as long as we can, slow and controlled. So an inhale and out. And again. And just repeating this over and over. If you've done that 2 or 3 times now, keep going. You'll automatically feel your body softening, the calm coming in. I'm feeling better already as well.
So can we just, let's all do this together, right? I want to make sure you're all paying attention, because this is one of the first techniques I ever used to teach in SOMA Breath. We call it straw breath, because it's like you're breathing out through a straw. In pranayama, it's known as slow rachaka. Okay, it's a great way for us to all start. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add one more element to it, a tone, like a hum. Hum. Okay, we're going to do that together. So let's do one where we just practice a straw breath together after the count of 3, 2, 1. Everyone breathing in through your nose, up through your belly, into your chest, up to the top. Hold it for a moment. And then just breathe out slowly, like you're breathing out through a straw. Amazing. And now, one more time, we're going to do it now with a hum. Okay, so breathing in. Amazing. Okay, it's a great way for us to all get centered. I love this comment. Old school joint smoking. Yeah. I never used to take such long drags though. But yeah, if you could say that. So that's a great way to just calm down, right? And who here, out of interest, is from Dubai right now or in the Middle East who's tuning in? Just love to know who's here in Dubai right now tuning in. Show of hands. Wow. Mimi, Lebanon, Dubai. Wow, loads of you. Beautiful. Some Israel. Okay. Wow, Israel's going through it too. Big time. Amazing. So look at that.
Welcome,
I love this.
everyone.
Really want to welcome all of you. And especially those who are right now here where we are right now. I want to just actually create a bit of a collective field for everybody who is right now in the Middle East, right, and Israel. And I just want us to collectively, as a group, there's 574 participants here. I want us to create a collective field of peace, okay? So we want to create peace on this planet. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. Peace is the mantra of SOMA Breath. It's how I sign every email. It's the last thing I ever say to everybody, right? When I meet them, I don't say goodbye. I say peace. All right. So
It's very true. I just realized
yeah.
that.
So peace is our code word, right? In SOMA Breath, and I want to project the peace collectively as a field. So first, the way I'm going to start this It's everybody in Dubai, right? Whoever's in Dubai right now, or the Middle East, okay, right, who's going through this right now in real time, I want us to first imagine, like, closing your eyes and making a mind movie, okay? There's a movie in your mind, right? And what I want you to do is see what you'd see, feel what you'd feel, hear what you'd hear, if you're living and breathing this moment as though it's happening right now, where this has all passed off away. It's all gone, it's all cleared, and we are in the most peaceful Middle East state of existence in our time that has ever been in history, in recorded history. So all of you will know who live here how peaceful it already is, right? So the way I want you to help you create this movie is I want you to think back to all of the scenes of all the most amazing moments you've had here, right? In the Middle East, Israel, wherever you are, Qatar, Doha, Bahrain, Kuwait, wherever you're tuning in from right now. I want you to step into that movie right now and start to live and experience all those moments of absolute joy. Relive those moments. Feel those moments right now. Feel that joy in your heart of knowing that you live in one of the most, if not the most, incredible places on this planet right now in this moment's history. A time of absolute abundance. A time of incredible opportunity. A time of phenomenal growth. Of co-creation. Of zero crime. Of medical assistance within minutes that comes to your doorstep. When my mum broke her foot, boom, doctors are here. 30 minutes, they're here, boom, sorted. A time of incredible innovation, of so many different cultures coming together, living, breathing together, and co-creating the next things that push humanity forward, that have a global impact around the world in positive ways. Some of the ideas that are moving and shaping the future of humanity in reality. I want to give props to Pavel Durov, who actually lives here, founder of Telegram. Like, that app alone has brought so much to so many people's lives who have been in situations of suffering. My wife is Russian, so she's been through her own stress with all of this in the past. So I want you to just step into all of those moments, relive those moments. And everyone else who is now in Europe, right? Or America, or other parts of the world, maybe India, Australia, whoever, wherever you are right now, as we're bringing up this energy of love, peace, joy, of the greatness that we've been blessed, that gratitude, I want you to start feeling that gratitude. And everyone else, I want you to just hold this space for us to feel this for a moment, just right now. Let me just hold it. Energetically, just hold it. And then everyone in the Middle East right now, as you start to feel those feelings, I want to imagine where you feel those feelings in your body right now, and take a finger or a hand and just point to where you feel it in your body. Wherever you feel those feelings of joy, of love, connection, collaboration, peace. Feel it right now. Point to it and notice there's a color that represents that feeling. Now everyone else in other countries, as you hold this space energetically, I want you to think of the most peaceful moment of your lives. The moment that brought you, it could be anything, any moment of, it's up to you, whatever you feel. I want you to now think of your most joyful, peaceful moments. And I want you to relive them too right now. Relive them. See the scenes in the movie of your mind just playing out right now. Start to see those and tune into one moment and start to live that moment right now as it's happening right now in this movie. See what you'd see, feel what you'd feel, hear what you'd hear. And then when you start to feel that feeling come up, point to where you feel it to. That's right. And then notice there's a color that represents that feeling. And notice that there's a color that represents that feeling of peace. So now everyone in the Middle East is going through this suffering right now, and everyone else is holding the space energetically. You should all now have your color that represents peace, that symbol. That's right. And what we're going to do is we're going to start breathing this into every cell of our being right now. Breathing in. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in to every cell. Letting go of sighs of good feelings. Yes, breathe it in. Breathe it in. And now breathe it all the way in. And as you hold it in, contract up the sphincter muscles slightly, the pelvic floor as you hold your breath in. Send the energy up. And notice yourself filling up with that light of a higher power right now. And now bring your arms out slightly, bring your hands with your palms facing the computer screen or the mobile phone, whatever you're tuning in from. And imagine now you're beaming this energy into each and every one of our hearts together, collectively. Just breathe it in and let go. And again, one more time, breathe it in. Send the energy up, hold it in. And send it into everyone's hearts. Yes. Notice how that feels. Now for the third one, what we're going to do is now, this symbol of peace, we're going to now create a whole bubble of love that surrounds this entire planet. And I want to actually especially send this to Iran right now, because there's so many innocent people there. So many people who are completely innocent, caught up in this mess, who have done nothing wrong and they mean no harm. And right now they're going through hell. This one is for them, especially. But I want this to also become a bubble of love that's going to spread collectively around this whole planet. And I want this whole planet to become a giant bubble of peace, love, joy. And I want this to become the energy that is the new frequency of our planet. I know this all sounds a bit woo-woo, but trust me, when energetic shifts like happen, even with the smallest group of people, can make the biggest butterfly effects and changes. So just trust the process. First, we're going to send this to the hearts of everyone in Iran, collectively, and then we're going to send it to the whole planet. So 2 more rounds. Now we're going to send it in again, breathing in. Breathe it in. Hold it. Fill yourself up with the love. And notice all of the smiling hearts in Iran right now. All those people's joys when all of this ends. Coming into a better way of life, a better future. Let go of the hum. Yes. Now, we charge it up one more time, collectively right now, for this whole planet, including all of the people who cause wars, especially those people, the leaders with all the trauma wounds, who may be carrying out a plan or maybe no plan at all. Whatever they do, we're going to put that to one side and just unconditionally, all of us collectively, to the evil of this planet. We're going to send them your peace, to melt their hearts, to liberate them, to free them. And we're going to see this whole planet evolve as it goes from the darkness into the light. The pendulum shifts inevitably. Right now, the pendulum has really shifted to the dark side, but it will inevitably have to swing equal and opposite to the light. That's right. So now we're going to have to do some big, deep, longer breaths collectively. Let's send it in, charge it up. Breathe in. And breathe it out. Now hold your breath in. Hold your breath after the exhale. Let your mind go completely still. When you can't hold it any longer, breathe it in. Send the energy up. And watch this giant bubble of love spread around this planet right now. Send it up. Send it around. Spread the light. And release with a hum. Yes. It is complete. So let's tune into your heart. Feel into your heart. Okay. I just wanted to do that little ceremony for this. For everyone who's going through this. Yeah. So that's a great segue to what this challenge is all about. So somebody just wrote, very important point here. Thank you, although with anxiety, the long holds can make me and others feel more anxious. Well, this is what this entire challenge is about. We're going to increase your breath retention time. When you can hold your breath, as long as we did, your resilience to stress goes through the roof. You have more energy, more vitality, you have less risk of diseases. You live longer, you age slower, right? So this whole challenge, you're going to learn the art and science behind how we increase our breath hold time, right? So I'm going to really give you a crash course in, actually I don't like that word, crash course. I'm going to give you an incredible, powerful education, inspiration and motivation on how to hold your breath for a long time, okay? And why this is going to help you regulate nervous system. And it works faster than you might think. It can happen quicker than you think. I'm sorry about my daughter was crying. She really wanted to be a part of this challenge, but it's bedtime and she needed to go to sleep, right? So I think she's calmed down now, but she really wanted to come in and sit on my lap, right? So maybe she felt the energy too. Maybe she felt the energy too. So thank you so much for all of your amazing feedback. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let's actually now get on with this training. I'd love to, yeah, I'm loving this comments. I could really see the innocent people of Iran, the hurt leader, and the innocent people from the Middle East smiling in a peaceful time. So yes, if you found that difficult to hold, trust me, by the end of this week, you're going to be rocking this. She was the voice of a new, pure beginning. Maybe she wants to see all the hearts again. Yes, she does. The last time you were on here, she really wanted to see the hearts. She really wanted to see all the hearts. I wish I let her in. Anyway. Beautiful.
Just a quick notice for everybody on the call. There is a QR code that you can scan and join the WhatsApp group where the whole members of this Breathwork Challenge will be together and we'll get to push ourselves, share some additional information, and you can join very quickly by scanning that code or using the link in the chat.
Yes. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready to get cracking with this challenge? Give me a yes if we're ready to learn some of the most important tools that I think the whole of humanity needs to learn. Because if we can all regulate a nervous system, right, with something as simple as breathing, this world is going to be a better place. People are going to stress and more from their hearts, right? And when we act from fear, that's when we get all these crazy results in the world. But when we all act from a piece of love and peace, which is what I'm going to show you how to do, everything changes, right? You start to manifest better. You start to attract cool stuff into your life. You feel healthier. Your love for life goes up, right? Because you make better decisions. You're more in a state of flow. So let's show you how to get there, okay? Okay, so I'm going to now focus. So before we do, just to change the energy up a bit, as we've been sitting down, I'm going to teach you a little bit of a movement exercise, okay? So one of the best ways to start releasing stress and getting prepared for SOMA Breath techniques, right, is using the process of shaking, okay? So for those of you who don't know, my name is Niraj, I'm the founder of SOMA Breath, and SOMA Breath is a big movement now. It's grown around the world with thousands of instructors, Many people have downloaded our app, are using it in various ways, like a pharmacy of different techniques we have on there. And one of the favorite things on there is the music, right? The music is what makes SOMA Breath so unique and special. And so I used to be a music producer. Well, I mean, I used to be a DJ. I used to do that for a living. Then I got into what I do now. It's a long story. I'm not going to bore you all with it, but I learned a lot about the art of using music for transformation. And so music, you'll find, drives and accompanies most of our breathing practices, which I'm going to be teaching you. But what we love to do is the somatic shaking, which we do to really cool music. So I also still make music for some record labels, some pretty big record labels. So the next track that hasn't been released yet, but it's coming out, it's called My Love. So I'm going to actually...
My favorite song at the moment.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm going to stick this on and I'm going to show you how we can use this. All right? We also have on the app, the music section, a lot of dance music. So what I want you to do is have your feet on the floor, hip width apart, your arms by your side. So just relax and imagine you're standing on a vibration plate, okay? And the vibration plate has a dial. So we're going to start on a dial of 1, setting of 1, and you're going to just let your vibration start from your ankles. So this starts the process. And as we shake, what happens is we start to mimic what animals do when they're stressed. So you know cats and dogs, they shake when they're stressed, they shake it off. Humans don't have an off switch for stress, we have to learn them. I'm teaching you one right now by modeling cats and dogs. So if you shake like this, create a little tremble, like a little vibration, you start the process. So keep your arms relaxed. And now we're going to play some music to start this off. Okay. Let go of that sigh of good feelings. We're going to start the dial going from a 2 to a 3. Shake, shake, shake. 3 to a 4. Now let the vibration go up through your thighs, up into the back. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Pick it up. 5 to a 6. Yes, keep shaking. Yes, keep shaking. Yes, keep shaking. Keep vibrating. Elevating, keep shaking. Yes. Yes. Turn it up. 7 to an 8, keep shaking. Shake, 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 shake. Now let go. Woo, keep shaking. Shake it, shake it out. Shake the whole body. Keep shaking the whole body. 7 to 8. Shake, 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 shake. Liberate. That's right. Yes, yes. Shake it out. Release all that tension. Yes, the energy. Release it all. Let it go. start bouncing now if you want. Yeah. Yeah, now we can dance it out. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Yes, yes. Dancing for freedom, liberation. All the people around the world, everyone who's suffering right now. In all parts of the world. Palestine, Gaza, Iran. Send them all your love right now. Right. Yes. All parts of the world. Everywhere. Woo! 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 Yeah! All the people in the Middle East, Israel, all the parts of the Middle East that are going through this stress right now, this dance for freedom. Everyone who's here, Middle East, imagine we're all in a big club together right now. If you don't give a fuck, do this. Yeah. Woo. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! All right. Send everyone your love. Feel the energy, feel the spirit, feel the peace and love and joy flow through you. No fear, only love. Sending your collective energy to those you love right now, anywhere in the world. Holding space for everyone suffering right now in this time of great transition and evolution. Feel the love. Much love and respect for everybody who's come and joined this today. Bringing this energy down back onto your chair. So nice. I love it. It made me so happy too, Ingrid. All right. Okay, we see some people singling out some people. Like, look, you know, everyone is included here, right? Everyone. Okay, every single person. This is for the whole of humanity. There's no one excluded, all right? No prejudice, no judgment, just joy
Let's
into
make the
everyone's
world
hearts.
a better place.
That's right. Beautiful. Huge release. So shaking, right? Shaking is one of the first go-to methods that I use for nervous system regulation. It's really potent, really powerful. And how does it feel? Don't you feel like you just let go of a lot of stress? Those of you right now who've going through it in Dubai and Middle East and wherever you're calling in from, Israel, wherever, everyone who's here, did you feel some release right then? Let me know, all of those people. Amazing. So that's the first one that really works. Beautiful. Amazing. So now let's talk about the breath hold time, okay? So Lisa's going to teach you now this way to measure the state of your health and also your anxiety levels, okay? It's a little test you can do every single morning, right? And we do this within the first 10 minutes of waking up. So Lisa's just going to teach you this. It's our, what we call the MBHT test. So this is what's going to start the challenge off, and it's what you're going to do every morning from now on, right? Especially for this challenge, to measure your progress. This is the key you're going to get out of this, is you're going to be able to increase your baseline default state throughout this challenge. And this breath hold time will be your measure of this. It's how we gamify it in SOMA Breath, where you will be able to see how well you're doing with these techniques. And then you'll notice a difference. At the end of this, once your breath hold time goes up, you will feel less stressed. You have more reasons to stress. You'll be able to handle war zone situations much more easily. And if you can handle this, what we've just gone through just last few days, when you go back into the world goes back to normal, you're going to be so set up for being in the flow and being able to deal with any stress that life throws at you. All right?
Yeah.
So go through, Elisa. I'm just going to check
Yes,
in.
perfect.
No,
Oops, sorry, swapping chairs. Hi guys. So when I first tested my morning breath hold score, my score was quite low. And within 3 weeks, I improved my score from 13 to somewhere in the 20s. And in those 3 weeks, it was crazy, the change on my body. Simple little niggles in life that I just accepted as normal, such as poor sleep and other things that I won't go into on details now, just completely disappeared in 3 weeks of practicing every day for a few minutes every day, doing the straw technique and increasing with my morning breath hold score. So I'm going to share what we're going to do, and what you're going to then do is test this tomorrow morning, because that's the key marker of your health. So your morning breath hold score is the key marker of your health and well-being. So before you get out of bed tomorrow morning, what you need to do is sit on the side of your bed before you start any of your daily routine, and just test your morning breath hold score. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a normal inhale and exhale, and then you're just going to hold your breath. And when you're holding your breath, you're going to wait for the first sign of stress. So the first kind of urge to breathe. And when you feel that urge to breathe, that is your score. So that is your morning breath hold time. So I'll show you, and I'm going to use my timer. Sorry, I'm distracted per Anna wants to come join the call. Oh, we have one. Thank you, Jason. Okay, so if everyone just sits naturally and just find your normal natural breath after all the dancing. So if we just take a little moment to center ourselves. And then on your next exhale, what you're going to do is you're going to just hold your breath And then your score will be at the first sign of an urge to breathe. That first urge to breathe, not to your maximum breath hold, because we could hold for much longer, but we're just stopping at that first little urge to breathe. And I'll explain more after. So let's have a little go. Finding your natural breath. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and hold. So some of you may have already stopped, and that's okay, but those who are still going, keep going. If you've stopped, you can put a reaction, a thumbs up in the chat. If you want to share your score in the chat as well, you can share your score. Amazing, well done, great to see the scores coming in, guys. Fabulous. Wow, really good. I see someone had a 39 there, wow. And don't worry if your score was low. I have seen some coming in there that are under 10. Not to worry, not to be alarmed, because this week is all going to be about improving that score. And so basically, if we got a score in the range of 0 to 10, that shows us that our body is under stress, which can then lead to health ailments. So those people who got a score under 10, you might have some conditions that you're already aware of. Those people who scored between 10 and 20, you might have some little niggles still going on, like myself, how I expressed at the beginning. My first time doing this, I got a 13 and I had bad sleep and other little things going on in life. If you got around 20 to 30, that's generally living in the healthy range, but we want to aim for up to 40, and anything above 40, that's like super yogi breath. But this is all about your oxygen efficiency. And I don't know where I was at now.
Great, keep going.
Yeah, so, sorry, that was what I was going to say. So as it's evening time, our breath hold score will be much higher. Well, not much higher, but it will be a few seconds higher than what it would be first thing in the morning, because we've been breathing throughout the day, we've been moving around, using our oxygen, using our breath. But when you test it first thing in the morning, it will be slightly lower. So we've had our practice round now, but tomorrow morning, as I said, before you get out of bed, that's when I want you to test your score and note that down, because that will be your day one score. And by the time we get to Friday morning, and then you can do it again on Saturday morning, I promise you, you will have made it jump, if not 1, 2, or 3, if you follow along with this challenge.
Yes, amazing. So just to answer some questions. So it's after normal inhale, normal exhale, right? So you sit down just before you, just after you wake up, like within the first 10 minutes, normal inhale, normal exhale, pinch your nose and hold your breath until the first sign of stress in the body, like a discomfort. Another way to do it, because some people find that hard to do, is hold it to your maximum possible effort, right? So maximum possible effort. And then minus 25% of it. So let's say you held it to 60 seconds, right? You would take off 15 seconds. Your score would be 45 seconds, all right? Makes sense? So you take off 25% off that score. So it would be 75% of your maximum possible effort, okay? No, not when you feel the urge to breathe at all. No, it will be when you feel the first big urge to breathe, a big, strong urge, like discomfort urge. So as you get used to this, you'll find the first few times you do it, it might be your stress, fear, anxiety takes over because you get scared of holding your breath. Now, let me tell you something. You can hold your breath many, many times longer than you think. Right? There's the world record for breath holding is like 24 minutes. Okay, they had oxygen first, but as a supplement, but still, you can go a long time without breath. And there's people who can hold their breath, free divers, 6, 7, 8 minutes, no problem. Right? I can do this My morning breath hold time is usually around 50 seconds or more. Right now, not so good. All right, it's lack of sleep, anxiety, all of that, dysregulated nervous system, score goes down. But, you know, I'm still over like a score of 30, okay? Now, as you do this, what this shows you is your oxygen capacity, your ability to get oxygen from your red blood, well, from the air into your red blood cells and from your red blood cells to your body tissue cells. This is the cells of your heart, your organs, your brain, your lungs, and your skin, and where it needs to go, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit of biology. It's going to explain this for you very, very well. That's going to just make everything so much easier to understand, okay? So everybody understanding this so far? So this is what it measures, your oxygen capacity. What it also measures is your CO2 tolerance, carbon dioxide tolerance, okay? Now, what does that mean? Okay, so in order to understand carbon dioxide tolerance, you need to know a little bit about biology. So Emilio asks, if you're holding the time, it's always after the exhale. Normal inhale, normal exhale, hold your breath till your maximum possible effort minus 25% then of that score to get your accurate score, or to your first big urge to breathe. I hope that's clear. I'm not going to keep going on about it, because you can also find the videos that go with this challenge, a little bit of homework, on the app. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet, I want everybody to download the app, okay? And if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, just a quick reminder again, please join the WhatsApp group, okay? Monica will send the link in for you to access the WhatsApp group, okay? And the app. All right, so on there, there's a course called the Breathworks Challenge, Healthy Breathing course. And on there, you will be able to watch all the videos that I'm teaching you as a recap to understand this. There's a video on breath hold time there. So let's just talk a little bit about biology. And it's a really good way to prepare for this, actually, is just to go through the science content on those pre-recorded videos. All right, so don't worry, these breath holding techniques are totally safe for 99.9% of people. The only people who shouldn't do this maybe is if you've just had a heart attack. If you've just had a heart attack, then just hold your breath to a comfortable point, not till discomfort, okay? And you might find that people who have just had heart attacks have got blood pressure issues, things like that, very high blood pressure is uncontrolled. Your breath hold time is lower than normal. But even you can, with practice over time, increase it, because that shows you the strength of your heart as well, okay? The vitality of your heart. Okay, so if you've had a concussion, somebody put, do this at your own pace, at your own comfortable place, okay? Right, so now let's get into a bit of the biology. So what happens when we breathe, okay? So when you breathe in oxygen, okay, through your nose, into your lungs, okay? And in your lungs, the oxygen gets absorbed into your bloodstream. There's an exchange that happens. CO2 comes into your lungs, carbon dioxide, and oxygen comes into your bloodstream, right? Oxygen then binds to hemoglobin. Imagine hemoglobin are like little taxis, okay? They carry 4 molecules of oxygen, each one. And this hemoglobin are the transport molecules. Now, these hemoglobin cells of your red blood cells, they drive to where the CO2 level in your body is at the right level, right? Okay, and once it's at the right level, imagine CO2 is like the signal. They're like the passengers waiting to where the oxygen gets dropped off, the CO2 get on, right? So wherever the CO2 is the highest, that's where your hemoglobin know where to drop it off. So let's say we're doing dumbbell curls, right? We're doing this, okay? You know, you get a little bit heat when you do exercise, right? There's a reason why you get the heat. So when you're doing dumbbell curls, the CO2 level gets higher in your muscles here, right? Now, that's where your taxis will go and drop off the oxygen the most, because the CO2 level is going to be the highest, right? So the CO2 is like a clever signal that tells your cars, your taxis, where to drop off oxygen, where the demand is for oxygen. Is this making sense? Right? Then the exchange happens. The CO2 jumps on, the oxygen gets dropped off. Okay? This is known as the Bohr effect. Right? Sometimes we call it the boring effect, because the science can, for some people, is a bit boring, right? But it's actually really interesting, because this is the secret of life and longevity, and even like staying calm and relaxed in stressful situations, right? So that is the gaseous exchange that drives life. If that is disrupted, right, then we have problems. You get low oxygenation, okay, of your cells. And that's when disease starts. That's when you start to get low fitness. If that disruption happens, you also then start getting other issues like oxidative stress and other issues that causes damage to your arteries and causes eventually plaques and then blocks, okay? Now, here's the thing. When you breathe out, what do we breathe out? We breathe out carbon dioxide and water, right? So why does that happen? So you just need to learn a little bit more science. Inside every cell, there are mitochondria. Most people have around 1,000 mitochondria in every cell. Mitochondria are fundamentally, I would say arguably, the most important organelles for your health. Not just your health, but your mood. Everything. They are responsible for pretty much almost every function in your body. Reason why? They're the car engines, right, that create the life force energy, also known as prana, also known as chi, right, in the more traditional circles. But this is the energy, ATP, that drives all the functions of your life. Make sense? So these are very important. These are car engines. So you know what happens if you take out your car engine from your car. It's no longer a car, it doesn't move, right? And if your car engine breaks down, what happens? You're screwed. You have to get it serviced to keep it going. And here's the thing, car engines are always going to break down eventually. Same thing with mitochondria. Mitochondria also have a shelf life like your car engines do. Because most people don't know how to service their tiny car engines called mitochondria. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do. Now, you know what happens to your own car, your real car, if you don't service it, right? I remember my dad, when I had my own car, back in the day, I had this, I bought this fancy black Jaguar, right? When I was a city pharmacist years ago. My dad always said, you better service this or it's going to cause you a lot of stress. And I just ignored it. I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. And I never took it for regular servicing. And what happened? It became the bane of my life. Like, I hated my car because the costs of repairs were so high. This is what's going on in this day and age today. People don't know how to service their little car engines. And so they get expensive medical bills, right? They have to go to doctors. They have to take prescription medications, surgery even, and then a lot of people on antidepressants. In America, I think 1 in 3 people are on antidepressants. But I'm telling you right now, if your car engines are firing 100% potential, depression doesn't exist anymore, right? You can't get depressed. You're too high on life, right? You rarely get sick, right? And when your engines are serviced properly, okay, your breath hold time increases, right? So that's what I'm going to teach you how to do this week, is how to service these tiny car engines you've got inside every cell. But not just service them, I'm going to tell you how to literally go from a banged up Ford, which most people are running on 20% energy potential, to a finely tuned Japanese engine that doesn't break down, like one of those like Nissans or Toyotas and Hondas that just don't ever break down. They're like magic. There's like voodoo shit going on in there. You're going to be one of them, right? I promise you, if you do what I say. Please let me know if you understand what I'm talking about. I've just tried to like literally teach you the secrets of life, right? Of longevity and everything. And I want to just be very clear here that if you follow what I'm telling you, you're going to have a longer life with more peace of mind. All right? Fantastic. Everyone gets it. Brilliant. Because I used to go to these science classes back in the day, and it was so bloody boring when I was at school. The teachers would just go, yes, so CO2 goes to this, da 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 da. Now remember it, right? And I'll be like, oh my God, like, it's so boring. Like, what? Why? Because they never taught it like this. I'm telling you the actual benefits of this science, why you should know it, and giving you an analogy, a metaphor, right? Now, hopefully it's making it a bit easier, right, to understand. Because this is the problem with the society, is that we've had shit teachers and people don't understand their own bodies. And so we then rely on doctors who also don't understand their bodies, right? Most of them their bodies are just to carry their heads around, right? And that's why we're in such a mess. Okay, so I'm trying to bring back a bit of fun education so that everyone can actually be a bit more empowered, right? So how do we do it? Okay, so here's the thing. So you should know now that the CO2 then is a byproduct of respiration. This is the energy, the formula of respiration. Oxygen plus glucose, which is the fuel. Oxygen and glucose, it burns like a fire inside your mitochondria, like a car engine does. It's literally like a combustion engine that produces heat, stress in the form of oxidative stress. That's what makes us age. Yep, unfortunately, producing energy makes us age a bit, just like your car engine gets some wear and tear, right? That's why you need antioxidants. And that produces then water vapor, CO2, life force. So then you breathe out the CO2 and water, right? So here's the thing. Now check this out. If you breathe out faster and harder than you need to, right? I.e. you take bigger and deeper and heavier breaths than you actually need to, right? Right? You will let go of that signal from your body, the CO2. Okay? If you hyperventilate chronically, which a lot of us does, unfortunately, you will let go of the most important signal in your body for getting oxygen into your body tissue cells. Because if there's not enough CO2 in your bloodstream because of hyperventilation, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why we hyperventilate in a minute. Number one is nervous system dysregulation. What will happen is the oxygen stays stuck to your red blood cells. And then you get low body tissue oxygenation and your blood vessels narrow because oxygen constricts your blood vessels, believe it or not. CO2 dilates them. So the perfect balance keeps them like this. So you have free flow of blood. But if you have too little CO2, they close, right? If you have too little oxygen, the fire doesn't burn at all. So you need the right balance. And then you have this nice, healthy blood flow, okay? So high blood pressure is often caused by breathing too much, okay? Believe it or not. So we need to learn to breathe according to what we need, metabolically. So we only need to breathe as much as energy you need to produce to be alive, right? And in your optimum state. Does this make sense? What causes us to overbreathe? Let me explain. As we talked about nervous system dysregulation, okay? That's the buzzword going around in the world. We've just experienced it like crazy. So I've noticed myself breathing much harder and faster and unconsciously this week. So I've felt it, right? So I know I'm talking about firsthand. Everything got put to a test this last few days. So here's what happens. We have two aspects to breathing. We can breathe consciously or unconsciously, right? Consciously means we can consciously control our breathing. We can choose when to breathe in, breathe out, or to hold. We can also just let the unconscious mind, the autonomic nervous system, the part of the brain that deals with your heartbeat, your body temperature, your immune system, all the things we take for granted that runs on autopilot, we can let that breathe for us, which is what most people do. And that part of the brain is called the reptilian brain, or the brain stem, the autonomic nervous system, okay? ANS. So that is actually a very important part of the brain. It's the survival brain. And this, all it cares about is your survival at all costs. It doesn't care about anything else. It just cares about survival. It's why it's very, very, very difficult to control in stressful situations. It's not easy, okay? The only way you can consciously control it is through your breath, because the breath is the one thing you can consciously control that also runs on autopilot. So that means through your breathing, you can consciously control things that you thought you had no control over, like your heart rate, your body temperature, your immune system. It's why Wim Hof, you may have heard of this guy who jumps in the ice baths and keeps his body temperature normal. He's able to do it. He's doing a breathing technique. I'll teach you it in this challenge. He's a very good friend of mine. I produce all the music. It's the Wim Hof method. But I'll teach you some stuff that he doesn't even teach this week. So you can control parts of your autonomic nervous system that we thought we had no control over. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it this week. Now, so when we are stressed, okay, the reptilian brain tends to take control when there's fear and danger, okay? Now, back in the day, the reptilian brain was very useful. We're talking in the ancestral times, the tribal times. Back in those days, we were surrounded by lions, tigers, bears, right? Invading tribes, and maybe dinosaurs, who knows? But in those times, when the predators attacked us, this fight or flight response, which you may have heard of, the fight or flight response, this is the sympathetic nervous system, would kick in to gear, and we would go out and fight or run away instinctively, like split second, boom, reactions, like quick, super fast, right? Because it's programmed into us to fight or flight, right? Survival. Now, back then, once the threat's gone, we are chill. We calm down. We'll dance a bit. The tribe will go and have a bit of a dance around the fire, sing some songs, peace out, right? And then they'll have their meal, right, for the rest of the week. Okay? Now, the problem now is that we live in concrete jungles, and now the lions, tigers, and bears and predators have been replaced, right, with bills, deadlines, bosses, okay? And if you're in Dubai right now, the Middle East, right, war, okay, all right, missiles being launched, So the problem now is, and social media. Oh my God, this is the number one
Worst.
nervous system dysregulator of all time. And I am so I blame, for my own dysregulated nervous system by being too hooked on this thing, right? So, so we are now, unfortunately, 24/7 for some of us, with a switched on reptilian brain breathing for us. But we are sat down. We're not using that energy. Back in the olden days, we'd go and fight, attack. We'd use all that energy up, the adrenaline. We'd be like fighting, running away, right? We'd use it up. But nowadays, we are going into battle on our phones, right? We are going into raging, hardcore battle, warfare on our phones, okay? And we are also got deadlines, bills, and work. And we're sat in front of our computers all day, tapping away frantically, but not using that much of the energy. What is using the energy is the brain. The brain is getting burnt out from it, okay? Because you're actually driving that mitochondria, the car engines, too hard with your thoughts in your brain. And that actually uses up a lot of energy. We get a lot of stress in the brain, oxidative stress, and we kill brain cells. And even the heart's pumping, gets overloaded, right? So that can cause oxidative stress and weaken us. But the biggest problem is the breath, because we start to breathe like we're going into battle, whilst if we're not even moving, right? So we're not using that energy that we're trying to produce, so we're hyperventilating. So that oxygen stays stuck to the red blood cells, blood pressure goes up because of vasoconstriction, and the CO2 is getting thrown out. And the CO2 is actually a natural calmer, it's a relaxant. It chills the mind. Like that's why when we're having a panic attack, people breathe in and out through a paper bag, right? You know that old trick? You're having a panic attack, breathe in and out through a paper bag. Calms you right down. I actually did that. I did that a couple of days ago. So who's with me here? You understanding what I'm saying here? This is super profound stuff.
And I think just on that, if I mention about my experience, so I was working in a really stressful job, and even before that, life was just very busy. I think traumatic events had changed my breath, and I was always breathing through my mouth and breathing rapidly. I did not have a slow breathing pattern. And that then led to me having PCOS and IBS, which doctors couldn't heal or fix. And it wasn't until doing SOMA Breath and learning all of this that just completely changed. And I know there's so many women out there suffering with hormonal issues and tummy and gut issues, and this was life-changing.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So there's going to be two types of people on this call, right? And there may be a third one, right? And that is, so maybe three types of people on this call. One, which is you're here because you just want to learn how to regulate the nervous system and how to use the breath as the modality to help you do that. You want to go deeper into that. You might have other techniques, but you're here to really learn this part, right? Then there's going to be some of you who actually are inspired to actually, what I'm teaching you right now, if you teach that to people, right, and got paid for doing so, right, and earn a living out of it, but even if you didn't even get paid, right, it would be awesome to spread this information around the world. Would it be amazing to spread this information to the world? Because no one's teaching this stuff, right? It would be, right? So there's that group of people who want to share this with us. So what I'm going to do, because there's so much on this call, I'm going to stay back at the end of this call. For anyone who is interested in sharing this with the world and building a career out of it, we have got some options in SOMA Breath where you can go a little bit deeper and actually get certified, right, in these practices. We have a whole pharmacy of breathing techniques that's not just for nervous system dysregulation, but it's also for nervous system management and control, breath control, that will take you to a whole nother level in your life in many ways, right? So there's a third of you that is both, okay? You're here for both, all right? And at the end of this challenge, you're going to probably go, holy crap, this has changed my life. I want in on this, okay? So I'll be staying back at the end of these calls to talk to you about that, okay? Right. So, so here's the thing. Hyperventilation, okay? So if you hyperventilate, you get low body tissue oxygenation, you get high blood pressure, you get oxidative stress, and you tend, if you are hyperventilating, right, overbreathing, chronic mild hyperventilation, you're burning your brain out, you're burning your heart out, you're more prone to degenerative brain disease, heart problems, and other organ issues, okay? So it's a really good idea to learn how to optimize your breathing so it doesn't go into hyperventilation when you're stressed, right? Does that make sense? I'm going to teach you this on how to catch your breath consciously and to use it as a tool to calm the nervous system down, okay? Fantastic. Okay, so now I've covered quite a lot already of the science. Now, how does this relate to breath hold time? Okay, so your breath hold time partly is low for some of you because you have low CO2 tolerance. Okay, your CO2 tolerance is low. Okay, and CO2 tolerance is your ability to retain CO2 in your bloodstream. So what does that mean? Okay, so the thing that tells your brain you need to inhale is actually CO2. It's not oxygen. It's carbon dioxide, and when the movement in your windpipe slows down, that tells your brain you need to inhale. So it's mostly CO2 levels. So when the CO2 levels reach a certain point, usually that triggers you to inhale. Now, for some of you, that's too fast. Like, you don't need to inhale yet. So these are usually the people who have got hyperventilation problems, right? So when you increase your CO2 tolerance, is what I'm going to be teaching you how to do, your breath hold time suddenly starts to go up, okay? So anxiety is triggered by low CO2. People who are highly anxious, they tend to have too much oxygen, not enough CO2, because CO2 calms you down. Most people who are very calm and relaxed have optimum CO2 levels. We're actually quite chemical in our physiology affects us more than we think. In fact, everything you do is a result of a feeling. So when you're feeling high vibe and in the flow, generally you have good CO2 levels, tolerance, and a good balance of O2 and CO2. So once you optimize everything I'm teaching you, cellular level, it makes everything in your life better. It makes everything easier and more fun, right? Okay. So now this CO2 tolerance techniques I'm going to teach you will get you usually over 30 seconds. But to get you over 40 seconds, we need to optimize the mitochondria, okay? So as I said, you have about 1,000 of these little engines in every cell, okay? More in your brain and your heart. Different areas have more, right? But there are techniques that can take you from 1,000 to 5,000 in every cell or more. In some cells you have 15,000. But we can triple or 5x the amount of mitochondria you have with certain techniques. This is the secret sauce of SOMA Breath. Because most people are operating their lives at like 20% battery, right? It's like, you know what your computer is like when it's about to run out of battery, right? It's like everything starts to mess up, right? Plug it back in or reset it, turn it back on again, restart, usually fixes the problem. You know, recharging it up and restarting it, okay? I'm going to teach you a technique that is like restarting your computer when your mind's gone and needs a defrag. When your mind's gone all cluttered and noisy and slow and congested, I'll show you how to reset that. But at the same time, this technique can also increase the amount of mitochondria you have in every cell. So you go from 1,000 to 5,000, right? Which is amazing, okay? So this one technique can improve your CO2 tolerance, supercharge your mitochondria, right? And it can basically improve many areas of your life. And what it can also do is increase stem cells and wake them up out of circulation, awaken stem cells. So I call it an awakening technique because it awakens your full potential, right? And the stem cells go to an area that you need healing, repair, right? Especially the brain, okay, and the heart, right? We actually can form natural heart bypasses with this technique, okay? And it can also awaken areas of the mind that haven't been, with the brain that haven't been used in the past, that the potential of that can awaken to, where you might never have had blood flow before, okay? So increases stem cells, CO2 tolerance. It wakes up potential areas of the brain that haven't been used, dormant parts of the mind. But then it can also wake up, well, no, it does wake up the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the miracle molecule for the body. Nitric oxide is antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial. It is anti-inflammatory, and it's basically all the antis. It's really, really potent miracle molecule, okay? So this one sequence, we're going to do a round of it in a moment before we end, is what you're going to learn deeper aspects of it, and we're going to do longer sessions towards the end of this challenge, right? So I'm just laying all the foundations for you, right? We're going to give you a little taste of it in a moment, but this will lay down the foundations for this challenge, all this science I'm teaching you right now, okay? Brilliant. So we've covered like almost all of it. Oh, and then humming. So you know we did that humming? Humming produces 7 to 15 times more nitric oxide than just normal breathing. And we do not create nitric oxide through mouth breathing, okay? And mouth breathing is one of the worst causes of hyperventilation. So let's just do a quick rundown on all the biggest causes of hyperventilation. But first I'm going to do a little test. I'm going to teach you a little technique that makes you instantly calm. But before I do that, I want to give you an experience of what actual hyperventilation can feel like. It's just so you understand what I'm telling you, okay? So we're going to just hyperventilate for 20 seconds, okay? Jason, if you're there, you want to stick on the countdown? We are going to for 20 seconds, all right? So after 3, 2, 1, I want you to pant like a dog for 20 seconds. Keep going, keep going. Almost 2 seconds left. 1, stop. All right. Notice how you feel. How do you feel right now, everyone?
Blood rushing to my head.
Not good?
Not good.
You mean blood not rushing to your head? Dizzy, look,
like
here we
dizziness.
go. Dizzy, horrible, hot and bothered, lightheaded. Okay, so now you know what hyperventilation feels like. Now, what we're doing, some people breathe like that when they're having a panic attack. They're like this, right? Like all day long, right? So that causes you to lose CO2. So the reason why you got less oxygen, why you felt dizzy, is got less oxygen in your brain, not more. And we've been misled. We've been told that deep breathing, right? Heavy breathing gets us the oxygen in. Breathe it in, breathe it in. Wrong, nonsense. I just showed you the opposite is true. What we're going to do now is reverse it, okay? So we're going to breathe in for 2 seconds. Breathe out with an extended exhale for 4, and then hold for 3, 4. So breathe in, let go, breathing out through your nose, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through your nose, Breathe out through your nose. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Stop. How does that feel?
Much better.
That feel better? Calm. Great. Calming. Relaxed. Great. Beautiful. So that slower breathing is more healthy. Okay? You're breathing what you need right there, and it calms you down. You've got more CO2 coming in, relaxes you. All right? So when you're getting stressed out, nervous, just remember that. Okay? So remember to do that. Now, sometimes, and the people in Dubai right now who've been here with me, and everyone who's going through this crazy stuff right now, you may have felt this. Who here knows what I'm talking about? Is the sound of like a boom, right? Right? At first was like, what the fuck? Whoa, we're all gonna die, right? Who resonates with that? Where at the beginning, on like the 28th, there was these crazy booms that would shake the entire house, right? That was frigging scary, right? Okay, good. I'm not the only one, right? And yeah, 2-4-4 is good. Like that's that 2 in, 4 out, hold for 4. Okay? Okay to breathe out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll answer all the questions at the end. So that you get what I'm saying, right? So at that time, if you think back, how was your breathing at that moment, right? Did it change? Did you feel like that? Like, did you get this kind of holy shit kind of feeling, right? Or did you freeze even? Maybe you start to breathe up through here. Because when you start to breathe through your mouth and up here into the chest, or hold it in, okay, like that also causes like this same issue I'm talking about. Adrenaline starts to go in and it creates more of a stress. You actually don't get enough oxygen coming in this time. Problem with that shallow chest breathing is not so much the CO2, it's the fact that you deprive your cells of the oxygen because you're not breathing enough oxygen in. As I said, you need the right balance, oxygen, CO2. But some of the biggest problems is actually over breathing during these moments. So what you can do in these moments, right? Because you may have felt this again happening. Like now any door slamming or just some kind of loud shout from somewhere, maybe it's your neighbor doing something, starts to trigger that feeling. Anyone notice that? It's better to breathe out through your mouth, everyone. I mean, through your nose, sorry. It's better to breathe out through your nose, breathe in through your nose for these techniques. Right?
For the box breathing.
Yes. Mouth, there's one time you use mouth breathing, and that's with this secret technique. I'm going to teach you the SOMA Awakening technique in a bit. Yeah, so people get it, right? There's like, now you get re-triggered. It's PTSD. I can't believe I actually have a bit of PTSD from this. It's crazy, right? Where like any sound, because I'm very auditory, triggers this, and I start to get the adrenaline, right? So in those moments, I slow my breathing right down. Breathing in, breathing out, hold, 2, 3, 4. This is what I've been doing, and it really helps, okay? Brings the CO2 back in. It's like mimicking breathing in out through a paper bag. So you're getting more CO2 back in because you're holding your breath for a bit. Holding your breath allows the CO2 to rise. All right? So you've got a little technique you can use there. Now, let's talk about the causes of hyperventilation. So one of them is this, PTSD or anxiety, right? Overactive fight and flight response, okay? So, yeah, you can hold longer if you want as well. Jen asks, this is just a little guide. You can play along with the numbers. You can slow it right down. In fact, if you're very stressed, slowing it down even more helps the CO2 rise up. Just remember, the CO2 calms you down. Okay, if it helps, breathe in and out through a paper bag, right? The CO2 calms you down. It's a natural tranquilizer. Okay, so so let's talk about sources of stress. So that's hyperventilation, all of that we know now, right? And stress and anxiety, all of that. So what also causes it is mouth breathing. So a lot of people, somebody just wrote here, my mouth is subconsciously open most of the times. There we go. This is one of the biggest causes of hyperventilation, mouth breathing. Because think about it, there's a much bigger volume of air in and out through your mouth than there is through your nose. So you let go of much larger volumes of CO2 through your mouth. Right?
Especially people who talk a lot for their work. I was definitely a huge mouth breather, and I spoke a lot for my work. So then when I became conscious of it, taking time every hour to just take some conscious breaths with my mouth closed was really helpful as well.
Yep. And then shutting your mouth, right? For at least a few minutes. If you speak for like 20 minutes, right, in a row, you need to have a 1-minute meditation break where you just close your mouth and do that technique I just told you, or just simply follow your breath, but with your mouth shut. Just follow your breath, right? And we have on the app, on the SOMA Breath app, some amazing CO2 trainer techniques or breath entrainment. If you go to the breath entrainment section, you will see lots of these little breathing tracks where you breathe along to music and it times the rhythm for you. And they're like breath meditation tracks. I suppose we should just call that section breath meditation, because that's what it is. It gives you all the benefits of meditation, because breath meditation is the oldest form of meditation, and it slows your breathing right down, normalizes your CO2 levels. You feel much more calmer in the flow and relaxed. Yeah? Got it? So slowing your breathing down, mouth shut, right? Especially at night. Next cause of hyperventilation problems, the way you sleep. All right, I hope you're all making notes here. Okay, the way we sleep, okay, is big cause of it. Okay, so if you sleep on your back, also known as corpse pose, okay, there's a reason why it's called corpse pose in yoga. People tend to open their mouth and snore. They do that, right? I caught my wife doing it the other night. I was so shocked. I couldn't believe it. I had to turn her to one side.
She was stressed.
Right? She was stressed. Seriously. So, but it happens, okay? So, sleep on your right side. Your right. Sleep on your right. When you sleep on your right, you don't hyperventilate because your mouth isn't going to be open now. You're going to keep your mouth shut. If you have a problem of having an open mouth, tape your mouth. There's a tape called Myo tape. My friend Patrick McEwen does it. Tape your mouth. Keeps it closed. Or just sleep on your right side. That usually does a trick. Right? Most people mouth breathe because they lie on their back. And what this also does is it turns on your parasympathetic nervous system. Your right side of your brain is your parasympathetic nervous system. It controls the left side of your body. When you sleep on your right, okay, you turn on the parasympathetic, which it puts you into sleep mode, deep sleep mode. You'll find it much easier to go to sleep. Okay? Ingrid says, oh no, I love sleeping on my back. Well, some things we love don't bring us peace of mind. We're going to talk about that when we get to the manifesting part in the next few days. There's a lot of things I love that I had to give up because they didn't give me peace of mind. One of them is sleeping on my back. All right? Okay. So sleep on your right. Left side is going to turn on your sympathetic nervous system, is good for power naps. I'll tell you that stuff later on in the week. This is more advanced stuff, but sleep on your right brain and you will have much deeper sleep every single night. Try it tonight, right? So that's going to sort out your sleep issues, okay? Now, there's more. Overeating, one of the biggest causes of hyperventilation. If you're somebody who eats in a hurry, we tend to breathe through our mouth during that time. And the other problem is that our belly doesn't have teeth. So if you don't chew your food and you guzzle your food down, you get this over bloated belly. Most people have bloating, not because of gluten intolerance. This whole thing about gluten is like, does my head in. So many people say they have gluten intolerance when it's because they don't chew. I'm one of those people, so I know it. I used to not chew my food enough at all, and I thought I had gluten intolerance. As soon as I started to chew the bread, right, and the way I do it, you chew 30 times and then swallow. Now, this is hard for people who are very social to shut the fuck up. Sorry. Part of my language, when you're having food, right, when you're eating. We're social creatures. We love to talk, tell stories. We need to do that. But actually, Japanese people don't say a word when they eat. You think that they're really cold, but they're not. They understand the breath better than most, right? They don't overeat, okay? And they eat quiet in peace. And they chew their food a lot. And they eat food that is actually easy to digest, that doesn't take up a lot of energy to digest. So they don't overeat, okay? And that's why they live longer than everybody else and look ridiculously young. I can't tell how old Japanese and Chinese people are. It's really hard, especially Japanese. They just don't age, all right? So chew your food till it's a liquid mush, swallow. That's going to save your life, right? A lot of people's health issues because of this simple problem, I'm telling you, right? And then what will happen if you overeat is you actually reduce your ability to get the right oxygen levels in your lung. So you start to hyperventilate naturally. Your breath, you'll find, will deepen. You get deeper, longer breaths as a result. And what happens is, right, when you do this, more CO2 comes out. So you start to lose your CO2 tolerance and CO2 levels. Another form of hyperventilation, okay? So how we eat, so important, okay? So from now on, you're going to chew your food 30 times, then swallow. You're going to be like a Japanese person at their dinner, right? You're going to try and consume foods that are real foods, not processed foods. Processed foods require a lot of energy to break down. Factory-based foods. One treat a week, okay? All right? But you can have loads of treats if they're just made from real foods. There's so many ways to make delicious treats, desserts even, just from real food. My mum makes my wife makes the best chocolate mousse I've ever had in my entire life, right? And guess what it's made from? Hard-boiled eggs and cacao, right? It's so good, it will blow your head how good it is. And it's boiled eggs and it's so protein rich and goodness rich that it's super healthy, right? So there's a whole recipe somewhere on my Instagram where I make this, so you have to go through all my reels to find it, where I make this amazing, delicious cacao smoothie. Who here actually would love me to have a YouTube channel where I just do recipes and stuff like this? Because I need to revive my YouTube channel. I've just been very busy. So let me know if this would be useful. Yes, obviously. Okay, great. Rhetorical question there. Okay. So eat real foods, okay? Then, next, what else causes hyperventilation? Exercise. Okay, great one. This is one of the biggest causes of stress in people, even though they're thinking they're doing good. So a lot of people go down the gym and they bust it in the gym for 2 hours straight and they go crazy, right? Especially on the treadmill. What's happening here is you're often mouth breathing for like an hour, right? And you're depriving your heart. You're causing too much stress on the heart for too long. Short doses is okay. 2 minutes, 3 minutes is great. That's how we are in the jungles, right? When we're in the tribes, we do like big bursts of short bursts of exercise. But now we're like we're running away from, like a lion that never stops running after you for 2 hours on a treadmill, which is just so not how humans have ever been, right, in reality, because we're in concrete jungle, so everything's dysregulated now. It's like not real. So we get way too stressed and we breathe harder than we need to for too long, and it causes stress. So the best forms of exercise are not long cardio workouts of hyperventilating for an hour, 2 hours. It's where you actually don't even need to hyperventilate that much at all. Anaerobic exercise, so static contraction exercise like yoga, but done the SOMA Breath way. I'm going to be teaching some of that later on this week as well. The SOMA Breath yoga, right? So, so then we have what was it?
I was just going to add on the exercise thing. So I was also a mad gym buddy, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was always doing a HIIT workout every single day. Like there'd be weeks, sometimes I wouldn't take a rest day. It was ridiculous in my 20s. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought I was doing the right thing. That's what the media told me, that I should be doing HIIT workouts or running every day. So I was. And it wasn't until I stopped doing them, and it was during COVID when I couldn't go to the gym anymore, that I instantly noticed a shift on my body. And then I started to research it and look more into it. And then I learned all about how the breath impacts and how we are when we're exercising. And now I still like the gym, don't get me wrong, but I do slow weighted workouts, just a couple of like 2-3 times a week, and focus more on walking. But a huge shift I noticed was getting rid of those crazy workouts.
Yes, brilliant. That's brilliant. So we will teach you some exercises from tomorrow. We're going to start doing exercise because the number one way to increase your breath hold time is with some exercise. But with Soma Breath, the beauty is that actually you can get all of the exercise you need in like minutes. Okay? You don't have to go hours down the gym, trust me. You can get super fit, right, without busting yourself and torturing yourself, okay? So, even with just like 5 to 10 minutes a day, and you can then repeat it a few times a day, you're going to get all the exercise you need. Like 20 minutes a day is all you really need. If you can just do 20 minutes of the type of exercise I'm going to show you, right, you're going to transform your life. You'll start to notice your breath hold time goes up, okay? That'll be tomorrow where we start talking about exercise. So, so exercise is one, covered mouth breathing. Obviously, if you've got an infection, sometimes your nose gets blocked up, sinus problems, you might hyperventilate. So here's one trick. Who here's got blocked nose? Yeah? Okay, so stay there with those of you who got your hands up, because I'm gonna ask you if this worked. So everyone's gonna do this now. We're gonna unblock your nose. There's a technique to clear your nose so you can keep nose breathing as much as possible. Okay? This is also a technique, it's called Baya Kumbhaka, that will actually help you, right? This technique will help you also reset, okay? And just get the blood flow back to your brain. Very easy to do. It's the same technique as your morning breath hold time, okay? You can either do it to your maximum effort, right? Or you can just do it to the first big urge to breathe, okay? So let's try this together. You're gonna breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose, hold your nose, and hold your breath. And what you can do is, if you want to, nod your head up and down. You don't even need to do that. You just hold, right? To your maximum effort. So let's do it together. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold. And repeat. Again. How's that feel? For those of you who had blocked noses, did it clear up a bit? Yeah? So blow your nose if you need to. Notice how that feels. Feel good? Better? Good. Do it again. 2 more times. Some of you blowing your noses, do it again 2 more times. A few wows. Really good before yoga session. I'm blowing. Okay, brilliant. So great example there. Look, there's people getting the tissue papers. Fantastic. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. See, wow, I didn't even have a blocked nose and I can breathe better. See, it's magic. What you're learning is magic. Okay, it's not really magic, it's biology. Breathe in. Good stuff. How's everyone feeling? Feeling good? Good stuff. Okay, so do this several times a day. 3 times in the morning, 3 times at lunchtime. Do it before bed. This will relax your nervous system, calm you down automatically. It's the ultimate breathing hack. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Pinch your nose though, right? Make sure you block your nose. We cheat often without even realizing it by breathing through our nose whilst we're holding our breath. Okay? There's no seconds, you just do it to your maximum efforts, okay?
And it will increase your breath hold time as well for the morning. And
this will start to improve your breath hold time because it starts to increase your CO2 tolerance, okay? So, we've covered so much. Wow, I've just given you half the course already. Okay, so unblock your nose. You should be better at nose breathing now instead of mouth breathing. What I'm going to do now before we start to wrap things up is ask questions. Who would like to share some questions? We're going to leave 10 minutes now for questions. Anyone wants to raise their hand, and then we're going to finish with a little introduction to the secret technique, SOMA awakening technique. Okay, who wants to raise their hand? Who wants to come on? Daniel? Duarte? Okay. Maybe someone from Dubai wants to speak? Or somewhere in the Middle East? Israel, maybe? Hello, Daniel?
Hi, I was
Hi.
waiting for my turn. I have a big question about breath holds. I've been doing SOMA Breath for almost a year, and I'm asthmatic. Uh, and what I noticed is that my breath retention got suddenly very short when the season started shifting from summer to winter, and I have more blissful breath retentions during the summer when I'm near the ocean than when it it begins to go into winter. It happens. Maybe it's because I'm in more hypoxic spaces. The windows are closed, but it really, I didn't know how to explain it because I had a long breath hold time, and during those those that during the fall it got short. So could you explain a bit about it, or and about the relationship to asthma too?
Okay, so often if you do everything I'm teaching in this course, for everybody out there who might have asthma, who has asthma here? You can also let us know if you're suffering from asthma. You will have a lot of relief from asthma, and maybe you might never get asthma again by doing all these techniques, okay? So asthma is your body is actually trying to prevent you from over breathing. So it causes inflammation in the lungs to prevent you from taking too much CO2 out and too much oxygen in. It's actually reducing your airflow. That's the symptoms of asthma. You know, like how fever is a symptom of infection, right? But it's actually your body's healing mechanism. The fever's there to kill the germs. Same thing for asthma is often it's a protection mechanism to prevent you from hyperventilating. So when we do these techniques, you don't need that symptom anymore, that prevention anymore, because you already have normalized your breathing. So people don't get the inflammation anymore, right? Now, some triggers for asthma are atmospheric. So some allergens, pollutants can cause asthma. That's hard to avoid. But all these techniques, optimizing your breathing, will definitely improve your resilience to atmospheric environmental asthma triggers. So your question, can you just remind me about what was it? It's different breath holding.
In the season change, in the fall, my breath
Is it
hold
better
is
in cold?
great. No, it's better during the warm seasons. I
So
figured.
cold,
I
you've
saw.
got cold induced asthma. So
Yeah, I do.
yeah, so cold, damp air. This happens to me as well. I get it. Okay, and some like in Dubai, it can be very dry, and like here there's sand in the air, right? It's like so I sometimes get a tickly cough here, but especially if I'm talking now, I'm talking a lot. I'm hyperventilating, right? So tickles my throat a little bit. So that's why I need a bit of water sometimes. But what you've got is typical cold-induced asthma. So what that means is that if you mouth breathe by accident, you get this dryness that comes from the cold. Where do you live?
I live in Portugal.
Yes, it's typical. Actually, that's cold damp. It's the
Hmm.
typical northern hemisphere allergies of cold damp, right? And there's mold in the air there and all this stuff. So that's what you're suffering from. So you have to make sure you nose breathe more than anybody because of this. And if none of this helps there, you need to move away to a different location in the winter if you can. Go down
Yeah,
south.
yeah, yeah. I do actually. I go to the Algarve near the beach. It's where I live most of the time, and it's
Brilliant.
better than in Lisbon. I feel better doing Soma breath in there than in Lisbon, than in the city. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So thank you so much, Daniel. We got a lot of questions to get through, so I hope that helped. We'll
Thank
just
you.
move on to the next one. So I have a question. I'm new to breathwork, grew up in a house with secondhand smoke. Will breathwork help heal any residual issues in lungs that I may not have had symptoms for? But that I may not have symptoms for. Okay. Yes. Especially the exercises I'm going to be teaching, the physical exercises will increase your lung capacity and it will help clear out congestion from the lungs. Nitric oxide as well, humming. All these techniques like humming really helps. Breathing in fully, humming, breathing in fully, humming over and over again, 10 to 15 minutes really helps with your lung capacity. Okay? and it will heal the gut, the lungs through the nitric oxide. Another question. I have a question. While normal breathing, sometimes I tend to take long breath and yawn also. That happens. It's to do with your CO2 tolerance. I do panic with the breath hold. Any tips on distraction from the panic? So count down from your mind 10 to 0. You just need to distract the worrying part of the mind. Okay?
Mantras.
And use an affirmation in your brain. Like I am in your mind. I am calm. I am calm. Okay? And actually, so this is important, right? For anyone who suffers from panic, in that moment when you hyperventilate, there's the piece that I missed out. What you need to try and do, because you'll feel you're doing it, your adrenaline spiking, you're feeling the rush, and it's hard to just do a technique. So what you have to do is to use a tool, right? Think of this. If God, the universe, had a frequency of color, that had the ability to bring peace into your body, right? What would be that color? It's like what we did earlier today with the peace color. Think of what would be the healing frequency, right? Think of that. And then imagine you'd become a channel of it, and then just, instead of like forcing your breath to control it, just start to control it gradually. So get yourself from, and just become a channel. Switch mouth to nasal breathing. You might still be breathing a bit fast, but it's okay. You can start to slow it down with longer, slower breaths in the moment, gradually. And then you gradually start to slow it down. Right? And then you can do the breathe in, breathe out, hold. After that, and then you should be reset. Okay? Now, if you're having an extreme panic attack where you feel your heart's popping out, you can hit the brakes down, emergency brake. This is the emergency brakes, right? You breathe in, you breathe out, and then hold. And hold it to your first sign of stress. It's like what we just did, but deep breath in, hold, and then repeat. This is like mimicking what you do breathing in and out of the paper bag. Okay, another thing you can do is breathe in, straw breath. Breathing out really slowly through your mouth. Straw breath, straw. Or just humming. Hum. Long hums. All right? Beautiful. Okay, so now I think we've answered a lot of questions. Okay? What we're going to do is let you all have an experience of because we've been going 2 hours, of the magic technique. Okay? You will find this technique also on the SOMA Breath app. If you go to the SOMA Breath app and you go into right where it says start here, click on that. There's the one we're about to do. Go down to here, intermittent hypoxic training sequence. Do this. Welcome to SOMA Breath intermittent hypoxic training. Okay, we're going to do this now. Okay. So Jason, if you want to get that ready, I'm going to play teach them the method. So everybody sit down for this.
Welcome to SOMA Breath.
Don't play it yet, but everybody sit down. Now what we're going to be doing now is a sequence of rhythmic breathing followed by holding your breath to your maximum effort. Okay? What this technique does is a breath fast. You take away oxygen from the body for a bit and give it back. Okay? We're only doing one round right now, but we're going to do more rounds throughout this week. what this does, this breath fast, is it makes your mitochondria think it's running out of oxygen. So it will start to kill off old mitochondria that are clogging up the machine, and it will multiply healthy ones. Okay, you should feel something off the first one that we do. Tomorrow we'll do more rounds. Okay, we'll do like 2 rounds, and we'll do 3 rounds, 4 rounds, like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in when I say through your nose, and you can breathe out this time through your nose or your mouth. Okay, on the exhale. And the best is just to relax on the exhale. Let your breath fall without any force. But you're going to hear in the music the count. Breathe in, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath out through your mouth. Close your mouth. Hold your breath. Let your chin go down to your chest. And now hold your breath to your maximum possible effort. Okay, and now hold it to your maximum possible effort. And then when you cannot hold it any longer, start to just shrug your shoulders a little bit like this. You can swallow. And you can even count down through your mind, 10 down to 0 slowly. Okay? And then when you cannot possibly hold it any longer, this is going to trick you to hold it a little bit longer. We're going to the maximum effort. We're creating the breath fast. You breathe in. And you hold it in now for as long as you can. Or the first urge to breathe. And then you let go with the hum. So hold it. And then let go with the hum. Okay, that's 1 round. That was a practice round. Now we're going to do it with the music, okay? So don't worry if you didn't get it all. It's all repeated in the track. It's guided. And then you're going to just check in with how you feel at the end, okay? The first time you might not be able to do the breath hold very long. By the end of this week you will, okay? You'll get used to it. And what this does, creates a state called intermittent hypoxia. And that is the magic that we'll talk about later on this week. Okay, so cue the music. Let's get ready. It's better to do this sitting up. Let's begin. Welcome to the SOMA Breath intermittent hypoxic training sequence, where you're going to be breathing in a 2 in, 4 out rhythm with a breath retention phase. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. That's right. So now sit comfortably with an upright posture, relaxed. When you hear me say in, breathe in. And when you hear me say out, breathe out. The smooth and consistent rhythm to the rhythm and groove of the music. That's right. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1. Exhale and in. Breathing in, breathing out. The smooth, consistent inhale and exhale. Breathing in through your diaphragm, then into your chest, and letting go on every exhale. This rhythm should be effortless, relaxed, with no force. Deepen your breath slightly, taking longer, deeper breaths, but staying in that rhythm. Deepen your breath even more. Begin to breathe deep, full breaths in that same consistent rhythm. Just 3 breaths left before the breath retention phase. 2 breaths left. 1 last breath. Now take a deep breath in and breathe all the air out, holding your breath after a full exhalation. Relaxing the shoulders, your chest, and let your chin drop towards your chest and relax every muscle in your body. That's right. You have 60 seconds remaining on this breath hold. If you need to take a breath at any time, take a little sip in through your nose and breathe out and hold your breath. And you can repeat this as many times as you need to until you get the command to inhale. That's right. Stay calm, stay relaxed. You are perfectly safe. Allow your muscles of your body to be relaxed and at ease. Let your shoulders drop, soften your jaw, your face, becoming very relaxed. You have 20 seconds remaining. You're doing great. See if you can hold your breath slightly beyond the comfort zone, going beyond what you thought was possible. Overriding the fear of holding your breath rubs off on other areas of your life where you may be having fear that holds you back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take a deep breath all the way in and hold your breath after full inhalation. Pulling up the muscles around your pelvic floor, your sphincter up, contracting up. You send this energy up like a spiral of light into your midbrain, illuminating you to the light of this blissful awakening. And focus now on maintaining the state of stillness by holding your breath for as long as you comfortably can. Now you have 15 seconds remaining of this breath retention phase. Relax muscles in your chest, your diaphragm, your face. Just stay calm and at ease and enjoy that stillness. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let go with a hum. Now, coming back to normal breathing, observing how you feel, noticing any changes. Congratulations, you have now just learnt and experienced how to do SOMA Breath intermittent hypoxic training. So if this felt really good, then imagine doing a whole 20 to 60 minute full deep dive session. You can find a variety of these on the SOMA Breath app, inside our courses like the 21-day awakening journey, and in our instructors' classes. All right. Just coming back to normal breathing. Tuning back in. How's everyone feel? Amazing. Great, everyone's loving it. Feel younger. I like that.
And someone asked earlier, how can you enhance longevity and look younger? This, by enhancing your oxygen efficiency. So feeling younger,
Yes.
amazing.
Great. Yes. Beautiful. Real grade A. I love it. Okay. Wow, today was the day I quit my job. This was already happening, but this has made it concrete. Is it because you're starting a new life as a SOMA Breath instructor? Amazing. Okay, beautiful feedback. I love it. It's a very simple technique, and we have more profound sessions like this. This was just the practice session that you'll find on the app, all right, which you all got access to now, all right? Lots of free sessions. If you want to get deeper sessions, you can subscribe for it. But we also have instructors classes. Lisa is going to be in the WhatsApp group. If you have questions, I know you've got a lot of questions. She will help answer some of them, but you can also hire Lisa as a coach. And she is very, very skilled in this. And she does private classes and also private coaching. All right? And you'll find her in the WhatsApp group. So you'll be able to reach out to her through that. Okay? Beautiful. If you can just post the link to the group, please, the WhatsApp group, Monica. Okay. All right. So now, as I said, if there's some of you going to want to stay back for learning how to actually teach this and be certified, I will be staying back for some of you. But recap on what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So today we just covered the foundations. Okay, you just learned the foundations. You learned the causes of bad breathing, right? You know what's bad breathing, you know what's healthy breathing now, right? You have learned techniques for controlling hyperventilation, turning off stress, regulating nervous system, all right? You've just learned our secret SOMA awakening technique there with the music. We also did a guru powerful healing ceremony. That's why this call went on a bit longer. It's usually around 2 hours. We went on a bit longer because I wanted to do that for the people and myself, all right? So we did a lot, we covered a lot of ground. A lot of this is also covered in the videos that are on the app in the Breathworks Challenge in the courses section. Check that out too, follow those, like go through it, all right? You're gonna learn some powerful stuff. Tomorrow, we're gonna get more into practice. I've covered a lot of science, I don't need to go into that. You're gonna be more practice-based, and you're going to get to ask more questions, all right? And have them answered real time. Be more Q&A feedback, right? Between us. So I hope this was useful. For anyone who wants to stay back now for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes while I go over the certification path, you can stay. There are replays, but we'll go deeper into everything tomorrow, okay? So from my heart to yours and
Thank you.
everyone here, and to everybody in Dubai and the Middle East and Israel and places where people are suffering right now, I hope this has been valuable for you too. Just give us a shout if is there a charge for the SOMA Breath app? No, the SOMA Breath app is free unless you choose to subscribe for the deeper stuff. All right. Yeah, like I'd love to hear it from somebody who's if anyone from Dubai or anywhere, like Dubai, I keep saying Dubai because that's where I am right now. If anyone's in Dubai right now and wants to just speak and share some words, it'd be great. We'd love to hear your side of the story right now. Anyone? Just raise your hand. Or have they all gone to bed? Or is there anyone in Iran? Is somebody in Iran here? Wow. That would be pretty amazing. Somebody just said, what about folks in Iran? But I don't think they've got internet right now.
Last I've checked, the internet was actually disabled in Iran.
Yeah.
My Iranian friend reported.
Okay. So, oh, wow, I'm surprised there's no one from Dubai still here. Okay, where they all go? Maybe they thought that the first bit was it. But if there is anyone maybe still lurking around, um, just feel free to unmute yourself. But everyone else who wants to stay back, let's just or anyone in the Middle East. Who's it? Is anyone here in the Middle East? Oh, here we go, Kathy. Okay, unmute. Go
Yeah,
for it.
well, I don't really like speaking
It's
online,
okay.
but
Thank
anyhow,
you for stepping up.
I could relate to everything you said about the anxiety, and yeah, I'm feeling a touch of PTSD. You know, my grandchildren live with me, and every time they kick the ball, they hit the window, I jump.
Mm, yes.
So this was really much needed tonight, and I feel so relaxed. I feel amazing,
Yes.
amazing.
That's
No, I've had a headache since it started, and the headache is gone. So
wow.
thank you guys. I'm so happy that I joined.
See, we have an inner pharmacy. We have it all. We have the potential already within us. We don't need to go out and get medications. We can make our own
Yeah,
drugs just with our breath,
yeah,
right? That's the door. I've just given you the blueprint on how to do it. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Kathy, for sharing. It really means a lot.
And Dubai is
Yeah.
headed for peace. They're headed for peace.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody's put it, yeah. Russia and China put pressure on them. Also, the whole of Europe. We're headed for
Good.
peace. We're out of it.
Yeah.
I
It's
really
done.
hope so. I
No,
hope so.
it's
Yeah.
done.
Beautiful. I really hope so.
Their intention wasn't to harm UAE. It
No.
was no, it was just a standpoint, right? For the
Yeah.
Americans to show them what they could do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're all safe.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we're all safe. We're here to tell the tale.
Yeah. Well, we lived through it, man. It's one of the most monumental times in our time. I think this is even
Yeah.
this tops COVID, I think, in a way, right? COVID was pretty
I was here
intense.
for COVID as well, and
Yeah.
it is funny comparing the two, but actually comparing how quickly the government acted and how well is amazing. So
It's been phenomenal.
grateful to call Dubai home.
Had I known that we were safe, like those bums were not dangerous, I would have felt better. I didn't hear that until
Yes.
yesterday. So
Yeah, because the booms are actually really far away. It's the
Yeah.
sonic booms. I didn't know that either. I thought they were like right in front of us.
well, they
But
hit the
yeah.
Burj Al Arab though, didn't they? And I live close to the Burj Al Arab, walking distance.
Yes.
I
The
don't know if it
the
did
fra
hit
the
though.
shrapnel.
Yeah,
The shrapnel did.
I
Yeah.
think around the back, apparently people down at the Burj Al Arab, yeah, sorry, Burj Khalifa as well.
Yeah, Burj Khalifa didn't
sorry.
get hit. Yeah. Yeah.
No, and the airport
Getting my
did
versions
twice.
confused.
Yeah, the airport
Oh,
twice
okay.
today. Today they hit the airport as well.
Did they?
Yeah, because my husband he was called to go and fix the damage.
Wow, what does your husband
His,
do?
well, his company is glass and aluminium, so he did the work there.
Wow.
So he was
Wow.
called, actually Saturday he was called at 2:30 a.m. to go and fix it. They just want to carry on as normal.
Wow.
So yeah,
So
but
this
it's
morning
over,
there was
guys.
a bit. Do you think it's
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
now?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah,
I do.
there was a bit this morning. They went and fixed it, but yeah, it's over. The Emirates Airline are flying. My friend's booked on a flight.
Tomorrow?
It's Yep, it's confirmed. Some are going this evening, but hers is confirmed tomorrow
Wow.
morning, 6
Yes.
o'clock. And
Because I've been wanting to
Etihad,
get back to Ibiza.
yeah, and Etihad have already started flying. Etihad, apparently they're taking out the stranded people first.
Interesting. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
well, I'm
over,
here
guys.
with
It's done.
I'm here with my daughter and my mum who broke her foot, so she can't really run if we had to escape, and so we have the whole full house right now. So I'm looking forward to us to get back.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I mean, I'm
my
loving it. I didn't want to leave
Yeah,
actually.
you were leaving next week anyway,
Yeah, I
so
was
it's
leaving
only
next
cutting
week.
it a little bit early.
Yeah, but I really didn't want to leave like a few days ago. We were thinking about staying longer, but well, we're gonna move here. The plan was to move here, so we'll see.
And you will. You still will.
We will. Yeah, it will
It's
still
going to be
come back.
safe.
It'll come back.
It's
It'll be
more
even better.
safe. It's more safe than it ever has been.
Yeah, the safest country
Yeah.
in the world, definitely.
Absolutely. Now it's the safest for sure. You know, my
It has to
10-year-old
be.
my 10-year-old grandson made me laugh today. He said, Nana, do you know? He said, I have lived through so much and I'm only 10 years old. And I said, why? How come? And he said, well, he said, we had COVID, we had the floods, and now we have a war.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And even the
Wow.
floods, the country was repaired in 24 hours. It's
Yeah,
such a good country. Yeah,
yeah. But
Beautiful.
these kids are going to be so resilient.
resilient.
Yeah, they are. Super
Yeah,
kids.
Mhm.
Change the
yeah,
world. Thank you
definitely.
so
So
much,
thank
Kathy, for
you.
sharing.
Thank you,
Thank you
Kathy.
guys.
Thank
It was
Amazing.
you.
amazing. Thank you.
Beautiful. Much love. All right. So, for those of you who feeling the call, who here is still here because they would love to share Soma Breath and maybe earn a living doing this too? Yep, yep. Lots of you. Beautiful. Okay, so maybe. Okay, yep. Okay, so let me explain to you a little bit about what that means. So in Soma Breath, we have a certification process. Okay, we have Lisa here who's actually been through that process, and she was about to quit her job.
Well, I have quit it.
She's
I
quit her
have
job. She was
4
about to
days
finish.
left. No, 8 days left.
She had 8 days left for her job. So we were planning a lot of big stuff here in Dubai. It will happen again. But she's one of our instructors who's actually earning a living doing this.
Yeah, and actually the interesting thing, and I only realized this today when I was writing in my gratitude diary, which is the 5-year one, so you can see last year, is I started my training of Soma Breath on March 1st last year, which is a year ago yesterday.
No way.
And here I am a year later, having handed in my 3-month notice. I have 8 days left of work officially. Was at the point I did it sensibly, was at the point where I was earning enough from it to let go of my full-time position, living here in Dubai, which we know is expensive to live in as well. So I think, yeah, if anyone's interested, again, I'll be in the WhatsApp community and feel free to ask me any questions. I did my level 1 training, and then I went into my advanced training, and now I do my transformational coaching training. So Niraj will explain more about the different trainings there are.
So we have some offerings here. There's been a link just been added by Jason. Let me explain to you how it works. We certify people in this modality where we cover a pharmacy of breathing techniques. Okay, it's based on my own experience of healing myself from chronic autoimmune disease, being a pharmacist in the past, but also rediscovering my love of music and adding music to breathing practices. That's created a modality like the practice you just did there, the secret technique, Soma Awakening technique, that gives you that daily dose of the positive stress on your body that makes your mitochondria light up, right? So we have many different sessions like that. We have some that take into psychedelic transcendental states that have been proven in certified peer-reviewed research with Cambridge University that shows that our method can work as well as psychedelics potentially to treat things like severe depression, like because of the way it changes the brain waves, similar to how psychedelics work. But we can do it without taking substances. Currently, the best treatment for depression is psilocybin and MDMA and ketamine because of the way it changes the brain and changes perception. So I was like, wait a minute, we can make the same effect with the breath using these ancient practices and add music to it. And Cambridge proved that we have the potential to be as good as that. So we want to scale this because one of the biggest problems of the world today is depression, right? So the more of our instructors out there teaching this modality, using the breathing music tracks, right, the better, okay? So we have courses where you can start by learning our proprietary method, step 1, level 1, right? Where you use your voice to guide sessions, where you then add on layers if you take the full course to becoming a full transformational coach, okay? So with that, you are able to then do complete high ticket, high level coaching with everyone. I'm just going to share our offer page with you right now so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? So we do full transformational coaching, breath-based. It's very holistic from all the lifestyle things I've talked about. A lot of it revolves around preventing hyperventilation and coaching your clients on how to prevent overbreathing and optimizing their breathing. When you fix that and you optimize the mitochondria and help people regulate nervous system. It affects everything in your life. It makes everything in your life easier, more fun, right? You can get through wartime situations like we have without completely losing your mind, right? It's amazing. Okay, so the way to start, if you want to learn the right option for you, is to simply book a call, okay? And I'm just going to play you this quick video that, hold on, just gives you a bit of a rundown of it. Hold on. Okay, are you ready? Watch this.
Hi there. If you're here, it probably means something inside you is searching, not for more information, but for something more in your life. My name is Jason Mark Campbell, and I am the General Manager here at SOMA Breath. And on this quick video, I want to share with you how over 3,000 SOMA Breath instructors have changed their lives through our transformational certification. Maybe you're already a coach, a yoga teacher, a healer, or maybe you're someone who's been through your own struggles and you're feeling called to turn that pain into purpose. Wherever you're starting from, I want you to know you are in the right place. At SOMA Breath, we train everyday people from all walks of life, single parents, corporate professionals, engineers, even monks, to become certified breathwork facilitators. As facilitators, they build a career that doesn't just pay the bills, but actually heals, inspires, and transforms lives, starting with their own. And I get it. You might be wondering, can I make this a living? Is it something that will take a lot of time? Is this the right move for me right now? Well, let's talk about it. Because this isn't just a certification, it's a chance to design life on your own terms, to have the freedom to choose when, where, and how you work, and to join a global community of over 3,500 instructors who've said the same thing. This changed my life. And we're not just teaching breathing techniques. You'll be supported with one-on-one mentorship, a full business toolkit to help you get going with your practice and to help you land ongoing opportunities to grow with real people behind you every step of the way. And here's something powerful. SOMA Breath is currently studied by Cambridge University because what we do isn't just rooted in ancient wisdom, but modern science too. So if your heart is saying yes, even just a whisper, I invite you to follow that. Because the truth is that there's always going to be other priorities. Time will never magically appear. And money, it comes and goes. But a life of freedom, purpose, and impact, that only starts when you take the first step. If you're feeling the pull, don't ignore it. Your intuition is always right, and I invite you to click below to book a call with one of our guides. We'll answer your questions, hear your goals, and help you see if this path is right fit for you. It's no pressure, no sales pitch. Just real clarity for your next step forward. We look forward to starting a conversation with you and possibly welcoming you into the SOMA Breath family. Just go ahead and book the call, and we look forward to having a conversation with you.
All right. So I just want to give you a little lowdown of some of the things you learn in here. For those of you who may be wondering, like, what's in it? Okay. So what you get is being part of an amazing community, right? That supports every aspect of your journey, okay? So we're really about the community, and you'll make friends here that you'll have for life, right? So if you're in a kind of a situation where you feel like the alien and nobody around you gets you, you're going to be around suddenly a bunch of aliens who really get you, okay? You're going to love it. So that's a huge part of what we're about, right? Is, you know, a cool tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. You go through your own transformation, right? So everything that I've been sharing with you on this challenge, you get much deeper, already produced courses for each area, from your fitness to your emotional health to your spiritual health. We're talking mind, body, spirit alignment. And we have a program for each one of those aspects. And that will give you your own transformation. Once you go through this yourself, you will then be like, oh my God, I get it. And you're going to want to share that with everyone. So you'll be able to use these frameworks with your clients, right? So that's how we've created this course. So first you go through your transformation and then you deliver it, okay? And then what we try and do is get you doing classes within 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, you should be out there getting classes filled, right? That's our aim. And we teach you a modality which delivers this daily dose that optimizes you from a core level. This is the secret sauce. A lot of coaching programs and therapies, they're at the outer world, okay? Most people like get better tactics, strategies to try and improve. We figured things out, right? That doesn't really go that far. You plateau because how you feel is what matters. So if you've got a dysregulated nervous system, if you're stressed out, if you're angry, if you're pissed off, if you're holding on to emotions, if you hate the world and you hate your life, it doesn't matter how good your strategies and tactics are, you ain't going to get the results you want. You'll probably manifest what you don't want rather than what you want. Because we're actually amazing at manifesting stuff. We're always doing it, but sometimes what you don't want, right? Let's be real. So this helps you uncover what you really want because it changes your vibe at core level, which is your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are your energy centers. It's where you produce life force. When you get not life force 100%, everything flows, right? So we charge you up to your full potential. Then you watch what happens to the rest of your life. But then you're going to want to deliver that too. So we give you this modality within 4 weeks that you can quickly get out there creating impacts, okay? That will start getting your first few paid clients. And then the next step is you learn the more transformational breath techniques for emotional release, trauma release. Shaking was one of them that we did, but imagine doing that for 30 to 60 minutes, right? With really cool music. I provide all the music templates, the breathing techniques. We have the best musicians in the world producing this music because I live in Ibiza and I have access to them because they're my buddies and I've changed their lives. So that's why they've joined the mission. And I DJ in some of the clubs there too. So, I've got my own little side project of infiltrating the underground scene because I love dance music, but it got corrupted by a bad culture. Too much drugs and hedonism. I was one of the wounded soldiers from that world. So now we are actually making an impact in that world too. But that means we have epic music, okay? So the music is, I'm going to get Hans Zimmer one day. I've got my intention to get Hans Zimmer.
Love it.
Co-creating with us. It's going to happen. It's happening, right? So you get all of this. You get these transformational modalities, and then we teach you then somatic techniques for deeper trauma and emotion release and reprogramming through the art of neurosomatic reprogramming. So neurosomatic reprogramming is the art of getting into altered states of consciousness where you can see yourself with a new lens. This is like the equivalent of psychedelic shamanic work, right? But I've made it into a system where anyone can be like a guru or shaman, but we don't call you gurus or shamans, we call you somis, all right? SOMA Breath instructors, we're a different breed because you don't need to go into some kind of monastery, cave, be a monk. You don't need to go and snort rapé I like rapé, but you don't have to go and do that if you don't want to in Colombia. We show you how to get there. Then like ayahuasca retreats with just your breath, right? And music, cool music and guidance. That's what the art neurosomatic programming is. It's like NLP to the next level. So we have the whole range, right? Most schools will just give you one of those things and charge you ridiculous amounts for it. We're not like that. I want everyone to change this world, right? Make it a better world. There's a reason why Cambridge University came to me, because they know that I'm a pharmacist and that I make protocols and I make prescriptions and doses. Because with breathwork, you have to be mindful of the dose. You can cause harm. I just showed you hyperventilation, not good. But there's a lot of people doing hyperventilation breathwork on a big scale, not realizing causes harm. You will not believe how many people come to Lisa's and my classes here thinking that deep, heavy breathing is getting more oxygen into their cells. When I told them that, wait a minute, you're actually stressing yourself doing that. It's okay to do it maybe once, like if you're going to do psilocybin in Peru, right? You do that once. You're not going to do that every day. But some people are doing that every day because they don't realize that breath work, if it's done wrong and it's hyperventilation, can cause harm to the body. So we are not about hyperventilation. We use different techniques to get into these altered states that means that you heal trauma through bliss, right? And I'm all about the dose. So there's a right amount of hyperventilation that's good for you. Too much causes harm. So we show you that, how to navigate that. Like if you're a breath pharmacist. I almost called my company Breath Pharma, and then somebody told me, no, maybe don't give that name. You might get in trouble calling your company Breath Pharma and going up against Big Pharma. But you know how it is. So I rebranded. But you get what I mean, right? So we create a pharmacy. There's a technique. If you want to unblock your nose, there's one for that. We just showed you that. Constipation, one for that. Go to sleep, there's one for that. Pain relief. You think about anything you go to a pharmacy for, we got something that will create similar result. I'm not going to say we cure everything and we can heal the world, and no, that's nonsense. But we can give you the catalyst that helps that change, get you back on your feet, get your energy pumping. Then it's up to you to take the action, right? But we give you the energy to take action, right? But then this is something you'll see in your clients. The best thing I love to see is people sending me their testimonials of lives they've changed, right? It's an amazing feeling. It's like, it's hard to describe. You might feel this too when you start becoming a master trainer. Lisa's going to become a master trainer soon, where she'll teach certified people in Dubai. She's going to tell me, oh my God, this person I trained just sent me his testimonial of somebody who maybe had like severe autoimmune and don't have it anymore. And they tried everything else in this world. She's going to start getting that feeling, right? It's the best feeling in the world. I want you to all feel that at least once, right? So that's going to start happening, right? So that's what I wake up to now, is feedback, like testimonials from you, instructors, changing people's lives. I love it. It's so cool. Lisa's only been doing it for a year, 1 year, and she's rocking it. And she did it with a part-time job.
Full-time job.
Sorry, full-time
senior leadership job.
She did it on the side.
Busy job.
Yes, senior leadership role, and did this on the side and still rocked it, right? So anyone can do this, I'm telling you. It's not that rocket science. You can learn this. And we make the science fun. I break down all of these complicated subjects, make it easy to digest, easy to learn, give you acronyms and so on and so forth, right? Okay. So you got it all here, right? Something for everyone. If anyone has any questions, we've got about 10 minutes and we can go through some of those questions if you have anything. If you want to ask live, if you want to ask in the chat, feel free. What do you think of Tony Robbins' breathing technique and priming ritual? I think he got it from Wim Hof. I'm pretty sure he got it from Wim Hof. Wim Hof is a very close friend. Wim Hof's technique is actually his own variation of a pranayama technique, Bastrika followed by Kumbhaka or Nishesha Rechaka. So is Soma Breath, because it all comes from pranayama, right? So I learned it from a medical doctor, yogi, and my Swami in the UK when I had autoimmune. And then further research, I went deeper. Wim did it by going into his own crazy record-breaking stunt stuff, right? And we're both very good friends, and I produced the music for Wim Hof. You can also do Wim stuff, all good. I'm pretty sure Tony Robbins got it from there, all right? Anyone else got a question? Dan Brule is also a friend, great guy. He doesn't put epic beats to his stuff like we do, but I'm not going to say anything against Dan Brule. He's a godfather. He's a great dude. A lot of respect. But I know in Soma Breath we cover the whole spectrum, right? It's pranayama for the modern world, as well as all the somatic therapy and all that stuff.
I think one of the things I found really beneficial as well with Soma Breath was not that I learned so much, that was amazing, but then when I'd done all the learning, I wasn't just left alone to sit with it and figure my way out. So like Niraj was saying, there's a whole big, huge Soma community, and we have a platform called Big, where we actually get coaching on how to step out there into the world and how to go and deliver classes, how to contact yoga studios or hotels or whatever it might be, or how to develop getting one-on-one clients. So they give guidance on all of that as well. And we have online weekly calls still when you are an instructor where you can jump on. I was just on one last week with Claudia, and she was sharing tips on how to do things on Instagram. So you're continuously learning. It doesn't just stop when you've become certified. And Soma's always helping you grow as an instructor, because the aim of Soma is to make the world a happier and healthier place, right? So that's why there's so much help out there for instructors as well, so that we can make the world a happier and healthier place. So that's just one thing I really wanted to add.
Amazing. Thank you, Lisa. So amazing. What do you think about Yang Sheng practice? I think that's Qigong. I mean, fantastic stuff. Simona says Niraj is great support as well. He gives a lot of his time, which is amazing. Yep. I really like to connect. It's what I live for. I live and breathe this stuff. I have a lot of respect for you because of the emphasis of safety. I'm a pharmacist, so I have to. It's part of my role. I'm still a pharmacist by heart. Once a pharmacist, always a pharmacist. I understand this is for profit endeavor. Yeah, we got to eat. But have you considered offering work exchange or scholarship for individuals with absolutely no funds? If you write in, we do take that into consideration. If you write to support for exceptional cases, we do.
And we just had lots of scholarships at Christmas as a
we do
Christmas
it
giveaway.
now and then. We do this, but I'll be completely frank. It costs a lot to get this out to the world, and I have a big company with 40 people who I have to feed, right, and their families too. So as a father of this operation, we have to charge a bit, unfortunately. But you'll find that we charge way less than a lot of other schools for the value we provide. All right, it's like you can check that out. Okay. I love this and your music history. If it all aligns together to make magic for souls, yep, that's a whole nother story. The music stuff. All right. It's a wonderful course, comprehensive, very well explained. It will give you a chance to work as an instructor very quickly. Go for it. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much, Simona. Okay, any other questions? Will you have in-person trainings? Yes, we have a whole list of in-person trainings. We have one in Barcelona coming up. So you can check that out. And we also have Austin. We have London, is very popular. And Lisa, did you do an in-person training or you did it all online?
I did all online. Because I was working full time, I couldn't take the time off to go. But I would have loved to. But hopefully we'll start some in-person trainings here in Dubai too.
Yeah, we're going to do them here and then she'll be teaching them as well. There we go. There's a link by Monica with all of the dates for our training. And I also do a retreat in Austria. It's not a certification retreat, but it does count towards, if you're a certified instructor, towards your credits for your certification. It's a private retreat, transformational retreat. We do epic manifesting rituals. We do manifesting stuff there. Like I love law of attraction, but I do it in a scientific way. In the mountains of Austria, we co-create. We do the whole ritual of everything that we practice in SOMA Breath: sauna, contrast therapy, cold plunges, hiking up the mountains, all that exercise benefits, yoga every morning, amazing food, amazing connections that you make, and a nightclub in the basement. So you can't really beat that retreat. It's literally the best in the world. And that will be 6th to 11th of August. And it's a total eclipse of the sun on my birthday, on the next day. So I'm encouraging everyone to stay for that there with me for an extra day where we'll just have the best time up in the mountains. All right. Any other questions? Beautiful. So I think we covered it all. So all you need to do now is schedule a call if you're very interested to do this and bring this into your life. And they will go through all the various options. Okay. Now, just out of interest, for those of you still on the call, if there was a training, right? I mean, a license, like maybe you're already a yoga teacher. Maybe you are already certified in something. Maybe you're very busy, right? But you want to bring this in where you don't want to have to learn everything about becoming an instructor of like using your voice, guiding, doing neurosomatic programming and all this stuff. But you just wanted to use our modality with pre-recorded voices over top, maybe Lisa's beautiful voice on some sessions, other instructors that we have, my voice, and it's all a package already made. Just out of interest, who would want to be a facilitator where you just facilitate? You don't instruct, you facilitate. We do have this as an option. I just want to gauge interest on that right now. Who would be interested in that? Just raise your hand, go to React and raise your hand, or just write in the group, yes. Deirdre just completed it. Do you want to just tell us how it was, Deirdre? She just did that course. A lot of people
of
interested in facilitator. French version isn't there yet, but it will be soon. Because we have French instructors who can record it. A lot of people. Oh, Deirdre, he wants to unmute. Let's just see. And this is also a good way to start for people who may not like have all the funds or time to go fully in. It's a good place to start because you can upgrade to become an instructor and a coach later. So go for it, Deirdre.
Yeah, I just did it. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. I didn't want it to end, you know? So we got the month. We got an amazing tutor, Stephen, who just,
Yes.
you know, the vibe is your tribe. So I'm hooked. I know I want a VBT forever now and go the levels. I am a bit financially stuck, so it was the only one I could kind of afford at the minute. But I'm so glad it's the value in it. And I'm honored to meet you guys today. So it's brilliant.
Amazing,
I'm celebrating because I just uploaded my video.
Wow, amazing.
Thanks very much for today.
Well done.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Deirdre. I appreciate it.
Honor.
So the difference is as facilitator is somebody who just holds space. They're not guiding. You don't have to learn all these different techniques. It's just one modality which you facilitate, which is like our core modality. It's like that. We did one round of it today that was 6 minutes track with the music. We give you longer sessions, but it's based around that technique. There's no heavy trauma work with it. It's more for that blissful feeling. You are trauma informed with it, but we're not doing trauma work. We're not doing deep therapy with it. It's more for this supercharging mitochondria practice, which is actually the foundation of everything anyway, right? So the instructor training is more if you want to do really deep trauma work, emotional release practices, and go really deep into like subconscious reprogramming. As we go into hypnotherapy type practices, somatic therapy, that's the instructor training. And then instructor training, you're using your voice, so you're holding the space, you're commanding the room. You can customize the journeys a lot more. With ours, you're kind of, with the facilitator, you're using pre-made sessions, right? So who would be interested in that? I'm going to tell you it's a fraction of the instructor. The instructor training is a bit more. It's not a fraction, but it's a little bit more. The level 1 of that. But if you book a call, we'll go through all of that for you. But it starts at $499, right? To get the foundation, and then it's $29 a month to get the music library of the pre-made tracks and the ongoing continuous professional development. For 6 months, you get it licensed free, but then you have to pay to keep your license. That's the same for the instructor training too, to get the ongoing license, because we need to know that you're keeping up with this practice and that you're holding the standards. But it's just $499 US dollars. Okay, and we have a link for it right now. It's not even been released yet, but I just threw a curveball in at Jason, and I just thought I'd just throw it out there now, because I knew that there would be a demand for this one. So save that. This hasn't even been released yet. I wasn't even supposed to announce it. I just thought, what the heck? This is a special time we're in right now, and we want to heal the world. And it's a great way to start, because then you can just upgrade when you want after that, right? Which a lot of people are doing. I wish it was $4.99.
You might get a coffee for that.
Yeah, you might not get a coffee for that actually these days. So it's $4.99 like that. That's it. And I think we have a payment plan on that as well. Payment plan option on that. Okay. Or $95 for 6 months, which is, it makes it so easy. All right? I'm sure you spend more than that on takeouts or makeup. And then the process is as soon as you finish, you upgrade it as you want. There's a very clear next step. You'll see it in the training. So it's all there. You just start with the level 1, or you can go straight into transformational coaching, where you get the whole spectrum. Okay, everybody. We've been going for 3 hours.
It was a nice distraction.
It's been really good way to pass time, but I haven't heard a single shake.
We're good.
Maybe the peace bubble
It
worked.
works. We
Maybe
sent
it
it
worked.
up.
Amazing. I remember like we were in Bali when in Australia they had the wildest fires once, and I was doing a retreat for all Australians. It was a teacher training certification, and you actually get the session in this actual session in the instructor training as a demo. And at the end, because we do these manifesting rituals in the instructor training, I show you how to do these powerful manifesting practices. Scientific, it's not some woo-woo shit. But we did this one where I made everyone visualize sending rain, a bubble of rain, to all of Australia to put out the fires. And I'm not kidding, right after it, within minutes, one of the guys looked at his phone, he goes, "You will not believe the weather in Australia right now." And it was torrential rain, which put the fires out eventually, which is epic. Loved it. And this sort of stuff happens to me a lot. When you join the tribe, you'll start to realize the manifesting stuff just goes on steroids. Because once your batteries are going up there, you start to manifest like magic. I manifested this. Don't you feel like you manifested what just happened? Because
What do you mean? Sorry.
this conflict in a
Oh,
way.
right. Yeah.
Like sometimes you think you don't want something, but maybe unconsciously you do. And this was an amazing, because my life has been so cushy. I needed to get a bit shaken up, right? Get out of the comfort zone, because this showed me the power of the breath even more. It reconfirmed it, right? It reconfirmed it. And it actually has made me even more driven to do what we do. Like I wanted this, right? I put myself I've known this was going to happen years ago. It's been predicted from many people. I'm always clued into this stuff. There's even a guy called Professor Jiang, Predictive History Podcast, which I listen religiously. He said this was all going to go down 2 years ago, right? So I knew this, but still I put myself in the line of the fire in Dubai, right? Like literally our place is like 7 minutes from where it all kicked off in the car. And I needed this to just prove to me what we can do. And we got through it, right? So far good. Touch wood, got through it. So but we can use this in so many ways. I've had so many amazing success stories from instructors who've healed themselves and others from illnesses, from that's car, okay, from
A Ferrari.
who've like solved relationship issues, who've helped people with abundance blocks, so many different things. Like a lot of the limiting belief people have is what holds them back from manifesting what they really want. So with the more transformational coaching, what we teach, we show you how to solve that.
And so
holistically.
on that, for obviously I use that with clients, but have been using all of those techniques on myself as well as an instructor. So the difference that has made in my life, and then how empowered SOMA Breath made me feel to be able to step forward and step into what I truly wanted. Whereas I feel like without SOMA Breath, I never would have been able to take that move because of all the great empowerment it gives you as well.
Yeah. There are people who spend like what we charge for the certification, right? The transformational coaching, which is significantly higher than the facilitator range. They spend that on a retreat for a few days easily, right?
Yeah,
just to heal themselves, have a holiday, or they go on holiday and drink champagne and get wasted every night and eat, lobsters. A lot of people do that, right? But not enough people spend it on their own education for themselves, for their well-being, right? So if you even didn't do anything, a lot of actually, to be honest, like there is quite a large percentage of instructors who simply are doing this for themselves, and the value that we give for yourself, just for your own transformation, is incredible, right? So think of it like that as well. If you're somebody who maybe just wants to
Enhance
transform
life,
their enhance their life, do that, and then you can. The icing on the cake is you can actually get paid for sharing it with others because you got the certification. So I think we covered it all. Oh, and also there's the movement, the dance. Like a lot of breathwork schools, they don't go into movement much. They're just like breathing, right? No, but we bring in the breath and the dance, breath raves. We bring in the SOMA Breath yoga, the shaking rituals, the somatic practices, tapping into somatic intelligence. Yeah. So we have a whole covered, everything from movement to mindset to spiritual awakening. All right. I think we covered it all. Thank you so much. So make sure you look at the
111.
oh wow, 111. Make sure you look at the WhatsApp group. I'm going to post in a summary of this call because of our nifty AI tool, and I'll give you some more information of things that will be a summary of what we just did on this call. And tomorrow we'll go through. It'll be a shorter call tomorrow, but we'll go through the physical exercise and more practices, all right, and more questions that you might have. All right. So on that note,
Thank you all.
yes, much love, everyone. It's been absolute pleasure. Much love. Peace. All right. Over.